He has also averaged over a strikeout per inning. That's tops among American League rookie starters. Last time out was against the Twins. He went 5 1/3 innings, allowing 1 earned run. He walked 2 and struck out 7. And for the Blue Jays, 33-year-old left-hander Jay Happ. He has won a career-high 15 games, including his last 9 consecutive decisions. Has not had luck against the Rays. 0-1 with an ERA just under 8 in 3 starts this season. Last time out, he earned the win. It was at Houston. Went 6 innings, allowing just 1 earned run. Jer?
Thank you, Joe. This first inning tonight brought to you by Ford Employee Pricing. Drive to win. And then get $2,110 in total price adjustments on the 2016 Focus Titanium. When you pay what Ford employees pay, it's easy to get into a Ford. The Rays in their road grays, the Blue Jays in their home whites. Stepping in, right-handed hitting leadoff man Logan Forsythe. In the series, 6 for 10 already. A couple of home runs. And on a just plain beautiful night for a ball game, it's time to play ball. As the tall left-hander Jay Happ's first pitch. High and wide, ball 1. And with that, at 7:07 Eastern Daylight Time, we're underway. Forsythe back on Monday. His 12th home run. Blue Jays won at 7-5. A leadoff home run last night. His 13th. Rays won at 9-2. As the line drive base hit down the left field line. Over to cut it off. Darwin Barney backhands. Plants throws to second. Nicely done on a hop to Devin Travis. That drives Forsythe back to first. But he's up to his old tricks again. That's his 7th hit here in the 3-game series.
Forsythe came into this series swinging a hat bat, and it continues, jumping all over this second pitch fastball from Happ.
3 RBIs in the series. Now the batter, Kevin Kiermaier. He's done pretty well. Right alongside Forsythe, 3 for 10, a couple of doubles. Very speedy left-handed hitter. He'll drop down a bunt. Donaldson crowds in at third. Happ's pitch. Fastball strike on the inside corner, 0-1. It is 29 Celsius degrees, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Tulowitzki at short, Travis at second. Smoke holds on the runner at first. Forsythe the lead. The strike 1 pitch moves outside, is caught by Russ Martin. Darwin Barney, we mentioned already in left field tonight. Melvin Upton in center. Michael Saunders in right. 3 outfielders on the disabled list. Ezekiel Carrera, Kevin Pillar, and now Jose Bautista. 1-1 pitch. Bunted up along third base. Nicely done. Barehanded by Donaldson. Off balance throw to first. Stretch. Not in time. Kiermaier legs it out. A bunt single moving Forsythe up to second.
An absolutely perfect bunt by Kevin Kiermaier, and with him running so well, Donaldson did everything he could, but he had to come a long ways to get that ball. Then, of course, as a third baseman, your momentum's taking you towards home plate. Has to throw against the grain. Speed of Kiermaier just beat this out.
All of a sudden, the home run and RBI leader to the plate, Evan Longoria. 25 home runs, 64 runs batted in, on a team that's hit 146 home runs. They're right there among the Major League leaders. Longoria, in his career against Happ, 10 for 26, including a home run. This is the one man in the lineup, along with Steven Souza, who's 5 for 11 with a home run off Jay, who has hurt him. Happ the stretch, look back at second. He's outside, ball 1.
Pretty good collision there between Josh Donaldson and Russ Martin. After Josh fielded that ball and made the off-balance throw, Russell, who was also going out to try to field the bunt, had a little collision. Donaldson went down. He was down for a few seconds.
Happ looks back at his runner, Forsythe. 1-0 pitch. That's line on hop to second. Off the glove and body of Devin Travis. Picks it up, throws to first. Gets 1, not 2. And the Rays now have runners at second and third.
First baseman number 13, Brad Miller.
It was a very hard hit ball off the bat of Evan Longoria, but it was a one-hopper right at Devin Travis. Taylor made 4-6-3 double play, but he bobbles it. He's able to retrieve the baseball and get Longoria, but there's a double play that is not made. Now Jay Happ has to deal with runners on second and third and just 1 out.
Brad Miller, left-handed hitter, first baseman. In the series, 4 for 8, a couple of doubles. The Rays in the series have 9 doubles already. First inning. Happ's pitch. Ground ball weakly hit to the mound. Backhanded by Jay. Throw it to the plate. The slide. The tag by Martin. He's out at home plate. Holding his ground at second is Kiermaier.
Well, the contact play was on, and Logan Forsythe took off as soon as this ball was hit. It was just nubbed in front of the plate. As soon as that first hop hit the ground, he was gone. But J-Happ does a nice job coming off the mound to the first base side. And this is why you do this contact play. It's to put pressure on the defense. Forsythe did that, but J-Happ executed the play perfectly.
And Kiermaier continues to jog up and down at second base. Surprised there that he didn't come to third on that.
And what happens there is the contact play is on, but you have to let the runner on second know, whether it's the third base coach or the runner on third, let him know that I'm going on contact, which means you're coming too. They were miscommunicating right there. Kiermaier did not advance the 90 feet.
Right-hand hitting Mikey Matuk up here. Happ with the first pitch strike, trying to come out of this first inning here unscored upon. Now how big is that double play not made? The inning normally would have been over on a play like that. Hindsight's always 20/20, and so Jay here required really to get a fourth out in the inning. Runners lead at first and second. The pitch foul back to the top of the screen. No balls and 2 strikes.
Oftentimes a third base coach will pound his fists together to let the runner on second know that the guy on third is going on contact. Otherwise, he may use his hand and push it against his other arm, saying we're making it go through, so you don't want that runner on second to take off. The runner on third is not leaving.
Kiermaier will steal a base for you. He's 10 of 12. And left-handers prone to that stolen base at third if you're not careful. The stretch. Look at second. The strike 2 pitch. Fouled off first base side. Back out of play. Mott took a couple of hits in the series. One of them a double. So a big first inning here. Rays scored a run in the first inning yesterday toward their 9-2 win. Blue Jays scored 2 Monday night in the first inning toward their 7-5 win. And we mentioned how critical it is for the Blue Jays to score first this year. 46-20 when they do, 16-30 when they do not. A foul goes down the right-hand side, still 0-2.
Well, you see the Rays are being very aggressive here early in the count in this first inning, and J-Happ is a fastball pitcher. He's going to be throwing around 70% fastballs. He's averaging around 92 miles per hour. Mixes in the curveball, slider, and changeup. But for a Rays team that's aggressive and hacking, they're teeing off on these fastballs early in the count.
Jay set. Runners lead. Strike 2 pitch, and it comes inside. Blocked nicely by Russ Martin. First of all, the pitch almost hit Matuk, and then secondly, it almost went to the backstop.
Well, Russ looks like he must have played some road hockey as a youngster, and he was the goalie because Jay just spiked this pitch right into the ground. There's no point as a catcher in going down to your knees and playing your blocking technique. That ball was thrown way too far in front of the plate.
Glove at the waist. And the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Fastball outside corner. The inning is over. Happ gets the last 3 hitters after the first 2 hitters reached. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Blue Jays.
Them 2016s are good as gone. Includes freight and fees for 60 months. Taxes extra OAC. See HondaOntario.com.
The easiest way to get you fired up for every Blue Jays game? Just look at that Blue Jays lineup. Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Fans, submit your questions via Twitter using the hashtag HHExperts and then have them answered later in our game. It's all brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. And a reminder as well, join the Jays Care Young Professionals Board for extra innings. It's coming up on August the 18th, an exclusive event right here at the Rogers Center, hosted by Sportsnet's Hazel May, featuring sport-focused panel discussions in support of Jays Care. Visit extrainnings.bluejays.com to get your tickets today. No score. J-Happ left a couple on the top of the first inning. Here's Devin Travis on a 6-game hitting streak to start the bottom of the first against the Rays' young left-hander, 23-year-old Blake Snell. He's in with strike 1 called. He's a 6'4" lefty born in Seattle, Washington. The Rays made him a first-round pick just 5 years ago out of a high school, Shorewood High School, there in the Seattle area. This is Major League debut in the season. There's a ground ball up the middle, base hit into left center field. And in this Snell's 11th start, he's going to pitch from the stretch right away and give Devin a 7-game hitting streak.
Third baseman, number 20, Josh Donaldson.
Well, Devin Travis just says, back at you, Rays. Logan Forsythe led out with a shot to left off J-Happ. Travis does the same for the Blue Jays. Devin Travis continuing to swing a hot bat. This is a very good left-handed arm. Blake Snell, top prospect of the Rays, hard-throwing left-hander.
And Joe, Devin didn't even get to a 2-strike count in his last 12 games. With 2-strike counts, he's hitting .517.
He should just try to foul a couple pitches off then. He's pretty good in any count.
He is comfortable at the plate. Here's Josh Donaldson. Josh takes outside ball 1. It was just yesterday that John Gibbons was talking about Devin, who's at first base there in conversation with Coach Tim Leeper. And he was talking about his defense, saying, I don't know if he's any quicker, but he's smarter. He's reading his angles. He's someone who studies the game. He works hard at it. Great compliment. Snell set. Slide steps, deals inside. The ball dropped by the catcher. Tonight, Luke Maile again. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, it's refreshing to hear, and it's important for fans to understand how difficult this game is at this level. And these are major league players. Devin Travis is one of the best baseball players in the world. That's what these guys are, but the work never ends. Always trying to improve and get better to compete at this level.
Donaldson with 27 home runs, hitting .296. First inning, no score. Snell's pitch is outside. Interesting to note here with Josh. On July 26th, he hit a 2-run home run. The Blue Jays have hit 17 home runs since, all with the bases empty. The last team to do that, the Giants, in 2011, when they did that in 21 times, 21 home runs without a runner on. So Donaldson here trying to become a bookend, really, to do what he did back on July the 26th. The 3-0 pitch, and he lifts it into the air, foul down the right side, maybe playable. Moving over, Steven Souza, the right fielder. Yes, in foul ground, he drops it. Dropped it, and he will be charged with an error to allow a life here to Donaldson. And that's one hitter you don't want to give a second chance to.
Well, Donaldson breathing a little sigh of relief at home plate there. As a hitter, when you hit that, you just feel that the right fielder is going to make that play. I think Josh was ready to head back to the Blue Jays' third base dugout. Now he does have a new life. This is not the guy you want to give a second chance to.
Well, Josh went right after that 3-0 pitch and missed it, just getting under it and hitting it late down the right field side. Now he has a 3-1 count. The lead by Travis. And the 3-1 pitch, that one's fouled off first base side. No one's going to get this except the fan. And it's 3-2.
Well, Snell will come at you with a pretty good fastball, averaging just over 93 miles per hour. Curveball, slider, and changeup, and it's that curveball that's been an outstanding pitch for him, holding opponents to an average of .033, virtually unhittable if combined with that high-powered fastball.
Brad Miller holds on the runner at first. The kid is ready to pitch to the veteran. 3-2 pitch, lined into right field, a base hit. Travis moves up a notch. The ball fielded by Steven Souza. He throws it back to the infield on a hop. And the Blue Jays open the game with a couple of hits. And look what the error did.
Last year's American League MVP. You better not give him a second chance. And Josh finally gets to a point here with 2 strikes, not trying to do too much. We're seeing him do this more and more now. If you're going to shift me over up the middle, I'm going to shoot that right side. He did it again.
And for your manager, Kevin Cash, youngest manager in the major leagues, your head kind of drops a little bit on the foul ball dropped by Steven Souza. That is the Rays' 71st error, 71. There's only one team in the American League with more, Minnesota, with 81. Here's Encarnacion. All of a sudden, Blue Jays, just like the Rays, have 2 on in this first inning. Rays unable to capitalize. They had the first 2 on with hits as well, but Happ retired the next 3. We'll see what Snell does. Blake to his hitter. Good off-speed pitch, outside corner, strike 1. Evan Longoria backed up at third. At shortstop, blowing bubbles with his bubble gum, Tim Beckham. Logan Forsythe at second base, closer to the bag, but still on the right side of the diamond. And we mentioned Brad Miller's at first. Luke Maile, the catcher, the target. Snell looks at second. Deals 0-1. A swing and a foul back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. In that Rays outfield, Mikey Matuk is in left. Kevin Kiermaier in center, the Gold Glove winner from a year ago, and Steven Souza in right. Travis at second, Donaldson at first. On deck, Russ Martin. And the strike 2 pitch, off speed, strike 3 called. What a pitch at 77 miles an hour. That's the advantage a pitcher has first time through the order.
Well, there's the curveball I'm talking about right there. And when you're averaging over 93 miles per hour with a fastball, he's got a good live arm coming from that 6'4" frame, but then drops that slow curveball. He has a big variance in speed. The velocity of that curveball is only averaging about 75, almost 20 miles per hour difference.
Russ Martin to the plate, 0 for his last 14. Looking to drive in the game's first run here in this first inning. Blue Jays and Rays, final game of the series. It's tied at a game apiece. Russ takes a strike on the inside corner, so Martin sees the off-speed pitches from the on-deck circle to the left of home plate, and then he gets a first pitch fastball at 94.
Right at the knees. Russ did not like the call. He's having a few words with Clint Fagan back there, but very well located by the young left-hander.
Peek at the runner at second, and now spin and no throw. Left-handers are always in harm's way with speed at second base because that runner is really behind them. They have an ideal situation with the runner at first, but not so with the runner at second. They have to make sure that they can catch that speed and try to keep it off balance. Forsythe at second near the bag. Strike one pitch, half swing. Looked like he went around, did he? Yes. Says the first base umpire, Alfonso Marquez. There's no balls and 2 strikes. So Russ sees a pitch at 94, then at 83. And Encarnacion saw one that went all the way down to 77. This kid's got some variance with his miles per hour.
Curveball, slider, and changeup to go with the high velocity fastball. It's a lot for hitters to have to try to consider standing in the plate.
Here's his strike 2 pitch. Fastball line to center field. Back to get it. Kiermaier stops, waits, makes the catch. No chance for the runners to advance. Throw comes into short, cut by Beckham. 2 down.
Shortstop number 2, Troy Tulowitzki.
This year, Snell started in AAA Durham with the Rays Durham Bulls Club. He made 12 starts. And in 63 innings, not only did he allow fewer hits than innings pitched, that's pretty impressive, but the big factor was over 63 innings, he struck out 90, walked only 28, pitched to an ERA of 3.29, and that has earned his promotion here. First year in the major leagues, this is 11th start.
Well, he's averaging a strikeout an inning up here at the major league level, and you can see why even here just in this first inning with that good fastball and outstanding breaking stuff.
No score. Each club with 2 base hits to start the game in this first inning here. Rays did not score, and Tulowitzki now trying to put a dent here into Snell, the left-hander's pitches. The pitch is low, ball 1. Blake has a big advantage. His dad, Dave, pitched 6 seasons in the minor leagues, got as high as AA, and became his coach and mentor along the way, too. That's a pretty good coach to have.
Pretty nice to have that. Dad helping you along the way.
Tulowitzki hitting .244, 18 homers, 53 RBIs. A swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Interesting to note on Tulowitzki. Last 29 games, he's hitting .297. What was his career average in the major leagues coming into this year? Right there, .297. So he has found that stroke. Pitch on the way, inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And now trying to hit a ball hard and make Snell pay here. Remember, he already has 3 outs. But because of the drop foul ball in right field by Steven Souza allowing Donaldson to reach, this is a 4th out that he's trying to get, and that can get a little tricky for even experienced pitchers.
Well, Tula's been doing a great job handling the fastball. It's the off-speed stuff that can still give him trouble. We'll see where Snell goes.
Pitch drilled to left field, down the line, up, and there she goes. A 3-run home run for Troy Tulowitzki, his 19th. And the Blue Jays are in flight, leading the Rays 3-0.
Center fielder number 7, Melvin Upton Jr.
Well, Snell just could not get the 4th out. All the runs are unearned, and that ball had so much topspin. The question was, would it get over the wall? And it just did.
A line shot. Snell did indeed go back to the breakable. It was a slider down and in, and Trula just chopped the bat head on it.
Slender right-handed hitting veteran Melvin Upton takes outside ball 1. Tulowitzki, his 19th, as we mentioned, RBIs 54, 5, and 6. A costly error by Tampa Bay. The 1-0 pitch hit down the right field side, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. And in great part, the Rays are 46 and 66 because of their defense. The Rays' rotation over the last 20 starts, they pitched to an ERA of 2.05, and opponents have hit just 2.09 off their starters. But they've been betrayed by their defense. 1-1 pitch. That's taken high, 2-1.
And finally, a Blue Jays home run with some runners on base.
Breaking 17 straight home runs with the bases empty.
And what a difference that makes. A 3-run shot by Tulo has the Blue Jays up 3-0. That's how they score a lot of their runs.
And the pitch is outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. So Devin Travis opens this first inning with a single up the middle to run his hitting streak to 7. Donaldson's foul ball dropped in right by Souza, and then he singled to right. Edwin struck out, Martin lined out, and Tulowitzki lines a 3-run homer. Next pitch, fouled off first base side. Upton with a 3-2 count now. The Blue Jays with their 161st home run. In the major leagues, the Baltimore Orioles 170. And then the Blue Jays sitting at their 161. And guess who's tied for first in the American League East? Orioles and Blue Jays. Upton golfs 1 foul, first base side, 3 balls and 2 strikes it remains. The Blue Jays and Orioles are tied, but the Orioles are 63 and 49. They played only 112 games. The Blue Jays have played 2 more games. They're 64 and 50. So the Orioles had that decimal point lead there because they've dropped 49 games, the Blue Jays 50, but the Orioles have those 2 games to make up. Then the Red Sox are only a game and a half back. Full count pitch, breaking ball, inside, ball 4. Snell upset at that call by the plate umpire Clint Fagan, and now the catcher, and here comes pitching coach Jim Hickey out as well. You can tell that unsettled this young pitcher who's, as we said, just 23, and now they have to make sure that he refocuses here. This has been a tough first inning for him.
Well, this is what happens to a youngster trying to perform at the major league level. 23 years old. He's had all kinds of success. Top prospect for the Rays. And really, he was 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. But Tulowitzki jumped all over that 2-1 slider down and in. And that's exactly what Jim Hickey does. He's almost a psychologist out there. He's going out there to settle things down and remind him how it's important to limit the damage right here. They've scored 3. But you cannot allow any more here early in the ballgame.
Right fielder number 21, Michael Saunders.
We're visiting with longtime television broadcaster Dwayne Statz, who's been calling Rays games on TV since their inception. And he said yesterday regarding that visit Jim Hickey had out to the mound, the pitchers love him. He comes out, he just restores order. He is so good as a pitching coach, one of the best in the major leagues. And pitchers just listen and buy into what he has to say. Throw over to first base, Upton back.
A very calming influence, and when you talk to Jim Hickey, that's exactly what he is. He's very good at the fundamentals, identifies things, flaws in deliveries that he can really try to attack hitters' weaknesses, but in situations like that, just bring a little sense of calm to a young pitcher on the mound.
Still first inning, Blue Jays up 3-0. Upton leaning towards second. The left-hander delivers a pitch. Going Upton, a strike, the throw through, a strike, the slide. Upton's in, feet first with a stolen base. His first as a Blue Jay, 21st this year in 26 tries, adding his San Diego numbers.
Well, you could tell that Upton wanted to go, and he just took off first move, got a very good jump off the left-hander, and Luke Bailey really didn't have a shot with the speed of Upton getting down there to second base.
And if the lefty's not careful, Upton will steal third as well. Saunders up here with an 0-1 count. 7th man to bat here in this 3-run first. Swing and a miss on a pitch in on his hands. No balls and 2 strikes. Upton yesterday quietly went 0 for 2 with the sacrifice fly. And now Upton's breaking for third. Nobody's covering. He slides. There's no throw. He steals third outright as the Rays fall asleep with Longoria on the shift and the left-hander Blake Snell. Wow. Well, welcome to Toronto, Melvin.
Well, and that's something that you have to concede as a third baseman. Longoria is playing way over by shortstop with the shift down. You're almost giving him that bag, focusing on the hitter with 2 outs.
Strike 2 pitches outside. Just to finish the sentence really on Upton as he picks the pocket here of Snell. Yesterday we said a quiet 0 for 2 of the sacrifice fly. Why did we say that? He did not strike out. He had struck out twice in 7 consecutive games. Now here tonight, what does he do? He draws a walk after falling off 3 or 4 pitches. This is what could really help him. Unfortunately, with the loss of Kevin Pillar on the DL, for him to play every day in center field and begin to smooth that out. Saunders takes inside 2-2.
And now with Upton able to get all the way down this third baseline, the third baseman Evan Longoria is still playing way over towards shortstop. So Upton can get a huge walking lead here with the lefty pitching from the stretch. His back is to him. If he does try to put away Saunders here with that breaking ball, be ready for a ball in the dirt.
Snell about to throw his 30th pitch here of the inning. It's on its way. Breaking ball hit on the ground to first. It is a foul ball just to the right of the bag. The first base umpire, Alfonso Marquez, was probably looking right at that bag because had it hit it, it would have been fair.
Well, Marquez had the best view in the house. He's standing about 30 feet beyond that first base bag, and he's staring right at that ball coming towards him.
Two and two on Michael Saunders. After Martin lined out, really, that should have been the end of the inning. But instead, Snell had to face Tulowitzki, who had a 3-run home run. Upton to walk, stole 2 bases, and now here's Saunders. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. So he takes 31 pitches, gives up 3 unearned runs, and feeling the worst of all here in a Tampa Bay uniform is right fielder Steven Souza as he comes in toward that first base dugout. So at the end of 1, settle in. Great to have you with us here tonight. The Blue Jays have a 3-0 lead for Jay. Second inning is brought to you by Diamond & Diamond. If you've been injured in an accident, your suffering and expenses could be completely covered. Call Diamond & Diamond Lawyers for a free consultation at number 1-800-567-HURT. 3-0 Blue Jays. It was the Rays' HURT on a misplay by right fielder Steven Souza that allowed Troy Tulowitzki to hit a 3-run home run for Jay Happ. He misses ball 1 to Souza. Steven takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll see where the night goes, but a rough start for him.
Well, it certainly is, and it's a play not made out in that outfield by Steven Souza, but now it's up to the youngster to try to overcome it.
Souza takes it inside, 2-1. And you know, Souza was looking forward to this game in his career. He's 5 for 11 off Happ with a home run. And now he's looking to try to blot everything out of his mind and start all over again. For him, this is the beginning of the game. That's how you have to do it. A strike on the inside corner, 2-2. Roy Halladay was the best at that. He had a 2-word mantra and used it toward someday maybe going to the Hall of Fame. Next pitch.
Well, you can't do much about what has happened in the past. All you can do is try to move forward. And if you're Steven Souza, you try to do some damage with the bat.
Pitch fouled off first base side over that Rays dugout.
This game is such that those things are going to happen to everyone, and I'm sure I know as a catcher I've thrown a ball into left field to end a ball game and walk off the field, and that's the longest walk you ever want to take. But it happens, and it's going to happen to everyone on the field. You like to make your mistakes and not hurt your club, but eventually they're going to cost you.
Martin the target. Back comes Happ. Outside, 3-2. There's so many highs and lows in the game, and really it's so beautiful to play 162 games because the best teams get there.
And that's why a lot of these veteran players will teach the young players coming up to really try to stay even keel. This game is very humbling.
Full count pitch outside, ball 4. And so Souza starts what he hopes is a rally, and Jay can't be too happy with a leadoff walk here after his team just scored 3 runs for him. Blue Jays Anywhere. Download the Sportsnet app today for unrivaled news, analysis, and video highlights of Canada's team. Plus, never miss a single pitch with the in-depth live game tracker. Available on iOS and Android devices. Tim Beckham up. Infield looking for a double play ground ball. Smoke holds on the runner first at Souza. Jay looks right at Souza. And here he comes. Check swing. It's called a strike. 0-1. Jay in his last 10 starts has gone 9-0 with an ERA of 2.49. and he's averaging 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. How did he end the first inning with runners on? 2 of them. He struck out Mikey Matuk, and that's part of the key to his success this year. Those strikeouts, a great weapon. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2.
He is a fastball throwing machine. I said it earlier, almost around 70% fastball is what he'll throw, but hitters cannot seem to time up his fastball. He's got a little deception in that delivery for a big guy. Jay's 6'5". He's got almost a quick arm, as some hitters will refer to it. And when you see a big guy like that, you're expecting that big long arm whip before he comes through.
Happ is low and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Martin pointed the glove to Jay, saying, that's what I wanted right there on an 0-2 pitch.
That is where you want it, just off that outside corner. If you can get the hitter to chase, great. If not, you're still way ahead.
Outfield straight away. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. There you go, number 2.
Designated hitter number 36, Richie Schaefer.
And that's exactly why Russell gave him that nod to say nice job on the 0-2 pitch, because Russ is thinking a pitch in advance. He's thinking, I'm going to go away with the 0-2 pitch down, and if we miss, I'll come back and elevate up, and that's exactly what Jay did to get him to chase.
So here's the right-handed hitting young Richie Schaefer. He's called up from the Rays minor league system. He swings and he fouls one back over the screen. Strike 1 here in the second inning. Blue Jays up 3-0. The Blue Jays have called up a couple as well, speaking of, from their AAA Buffalo team today, having to put Jose Bautista on the 15-day disabled list with his knee problem. He felt it pop in right field yesterday when he stumbled into the turf, and then walked around his house later as he was talking about that, saying, I knew that I had an issue, and I called the trainer. The pitch is inside. So today placed on the 15-day DL, Junior Lake, veteran outfielder. He's played earlier this year with the Blue Jays. He's up. And after the game yesterday, Danny Barnes was sent back to Buffalo, and Ryan Tepera is back in that Blue Jays bullpen in left center. Happ is outside, 2-1.
Injuries are a big part of this ball game, and the Blue Jays have been somewhat fortunate throughout the course of the season, especially as we've talked about in this starting rotation. But it continues to nip them, but they're going to have to overcome, and that's what John Gibbons said today. You just have to keep moving forward.
Souza at first with 1 out, second inning. Happ set. Kicks and delivers. Swinging a line drive, base hit into center field. Coming in to take it on 2 outs, Melvin Upton. Stopping at second, Souza. The throwback to Tulowitzki, and the Rays have 2 on for ninth hitter Luke Maile. If you're the Rays, you can't ask for a better situation here after seeing 3 unearned runs score, to put 2 on with 1 out in the very next half inning.
Well, Jay's throwing a lot of fastballs, and that's what he does. That's how he's been very successful. But if he does not locate him a little bit better, seeing a pretty aggressive hitting team right here in the Rays, going ahead and jumping on those fastballs. Had some hard hit balls here in the first couple of innings.
Maile yesterday went 2 for 4, drew a walk in the 9th spot. Right-handed batter, takes inside and low, ball 1. When Bautista was first put on the disabled list, kicking his toe against the wall in right field in Philadelphia, he missed 30 games. But the Blue Jays went 17-13 in those 30 games. We'll see how they pick him up here second time around. A strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. When Tulowitzki missed 20 games earlier this year with that quad muscle injury, the Blue Jays went 14-6, and that's in great part why the Blue Jays are 64-50 with the depth on their 25-man roster. Losing 2 key stars like that. Happ to his hitter. A fly ball hit the right field down the line. That's working its way foul. Moving over for it, Saunders. He won't get there. It's on the track. Bounces into the crowd. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And that's where other players are going to need to step up. We talked about Kevin Pillar's injury last night, and Melvin Upton getting an opportunity now. And then, well, with the injury to Jose Bautista and then Daryl Siciliani, will get a lot of at-bats against right-handers. Junior Lake may get the odd chance as well, but Ezekiel Carrera should be back soon, too. He's looking to possibly rehab this week and join the team one of those first couple of days in New York next week, if all goes well.
1-2 on Maile. On deck leadoff hitter Logan Forsythe, already 7 hits in the series. 1-2 pitch. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Charlie Montoyo, the Rays third base coach, well out of the box, back toward the Blue Jays third base dugout. His responsibility, the runner at second, Souza. At first base, Schaefer. Happ the stretch. Kicks the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 down in the inning, both on strikeouts.
Second baseman, number 11, Logan Forsythe.
Another elevated fastball from Jay Happ, and there's that deception again. You see Maley is just late on that fastball at 93 miles per hour.
Well, people here see Jay Happ altogether a different pitcher than the first time he was here. And he is 15-3, trying to become the Major League's first 16-game winner. His ERA, as he pitches here, is 3.05. He's already lowered it from 3.09 here tonight. The runners lead. Forsythe, right-handed hitter, takes inside ball one to put things in perspective for Jay. Last year he was with the Mariners. Then he finished so strong in a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates that he went over to Pittsburgh. Left-hander Ray Searage, a former major leaguer, was his pitching coach. Since last August the 19th, Jay Happ is 22-4. That's the best record in the major leagues. Jake Arrieta with the Cubs, 21-5. Then Steven Souza, Steven Strasburg, 20-3. Those are your top 3 pitchers as Jay misses low ball 2-0. But Happ, since August 19th, the best record for a starter in Major League Baseball.
And he has incorporated a bit of a two-seam fastball. He's got that arm angle back on top. That's what he was working on last year, that great finish he had in a Pirates uniform. He's incorporated that now into his new Blue Jays uniform.
Strike one, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Forsythe singled the left field back to start the game. Then Kevin Kiermaier on deck, a bunt single up along third, and the Rays had 2 on with nobody out. But Longoria grounded out. Miller hit into a fielder's choice. Happ took the ground ball, threw out the runner at the plate, Forsythe, and then he struck out Mikey Matuk to end the inning. Now walking a single, 2 strikeouts later here in the second inning. He's trying to come out of this inning unscored upon as well. His pitch. Fly ball right field, hit pretty well. Back for it, Michael Saunders. He's at the track. He's in the corner. He makes the catch. The inning is over on a ball hit deep to right field, slicing toward that corner mark 328 feet away, and Saunders able to run it. StLouisWings.com. Now that's devilishly good. Blue Jays 3, Rays nothing. Bottom of the second inning. The left-hander, 23-year-old Blake Snell, to face Justin Smoke. Switch hitter batting right-handed, takes strike 1 called. Darwin Barney on deck. They were the only 2 Blue Jays not to bat in the 3-run first. And then leadoff hitter Devin Travis. Off-speed pitch, ground ball to the shortstop, Tim Beckham. Takes his time, throws to first. 1 down. Mike Wilner has the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard.
And on a very busy Wednesday night, we've got the New York Yankees in Boston, and it's 0-0. That game in the top of the third at Fenway Park. The Red Sox, a game and a half back of the Blue Jays and Orioles for first place in the AL East. Drew Pomerantz on the mound for the Red Sox. Nate Eovaldi started it for the Yankees, but left after an inning.
Here's Darwin hitting .257. He takes it low, ball 1.
We will see if we can figure out why that happened. It's 0-0. Diamondbacks and Mets in the top of the second. Cardinals lead the Reds 1-0 in the top of the third. That on a home run by Matt Carpenter that led off the bottom of the first, his 15th.
Snell goes into his windup. Back he comes 1-0. Inside.
It's 2-0 Padres over the Pirates in the middle of the third inning. Christian Bethancourt has an RBI single. Earlier, the Giants beat Miami 1-0 on Brandon Crawford's 4th inning home run.
And Snell's 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Phillies with 3 in the ninth to put away the Dodgers 6-2, and the Washington Nationals beat the Cleveland Indians by a score of 7-4. Mark Melancon picking up another save with his new team.
And the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
And as far as the Baltimore Orioles, who are tied for first in the AL East with the Blue Jays, they're in Oakland tonight to continue their 4-game set. It's Giovanni Gallardo against Ross Detweiler. For all the scores and stats, go to sportsnet.ca.
Thank you, Mike. 2-2 on Barney. On deck is Travis. Pitch on the way. Slap to right field, down the line, slicing. Fair, a base hit. That ball hits the retaining wall. Darwin cuts the corner. He's heading for second. The throw is cut by the second baseman, Forsythe. A double for Darwin Barney to snap an 0 for 17.
Second baseman, number 29, Devin Travis.
Snell had thrown Darwin back-to-back changeups earlier in the at-bat, and then he comes back with a fastball, and Darwin just reacts to it. But good swing, good short swing, getting on top of this baseball. It was elevated in the zone, drilling it down towards that right field corner.
And what a pro he is, too. Visiting with him at the batting cage, he is just so good at being a teammate. He connects with the game. He's got passion for it. He's starting in left field tonight. Jose Bautista on the DL with a sore knee from yesterday. Devin Travis takes it inside. And look what Darwin did last year in August, September, and October, too, with the Blue Jays.
He is a real pro, and what I mean by that, this is a veteran player that understands what's going on around him, and now especially with 2 strikes against a pretty powerful left-handed arm in Snell, he just takes a very short approach to the baseball.
Devin checks his swing. It's low. He does not go around, so it's 2 balls and no strikes. Devin opened the game for the Blue Jays with a ground ball single up the middle, running his hitting streak to 7 games. He came in here over the last 6 games, 13 for 26, hitting at even 500. He's added to that here, and this is 7th game. That includes 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. Looking for more damage here. Donaldson on deck. Pitch hit down the right field side, foul. 2 balls and 1 strike. John Gibbons was talking about Devin after the game, and he said, it's no fluke. He's such a good hitter. He's got such a great short stroke.
When you're short to the baseball, you're giving yourself a better chance. One thing he does, he gets his bat into and through the hitting zone, so it's there a long time, but that short swing with the hands inside allows that barrel to get to the baseball.
He takes it low, ball 3, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Usually the bigger guys, the bigger type hitters have the longer swings, and when a big guy has a long swing, you're going to see pitchers pound them inside all day with the fastballs because they're getting around the baseball. Devin stays short and inside the baseball very well. It's tough to pitch to.
The tall left-hander is set. 3-0 Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, 1 on, 1 out. The pitch lined into right field, another base hit. Around third, Barney, he's heading home. There's no throw. He scores. Devin back to first. He's 2 for 2, and the Blue Jays lead it 4-0.
Third baseman, number 20, Josh Donaldson.
Well, I said it last night, and I'll say it again. If you're going to throw a fastball middle in to Devin Travis, I think you're doing him a favor because he stays inside that baseball so well, handles the bat so well, and there is that short, compact swing straight to the ball.
Here's Donaldson. Single to right field, scored one of 3 runs in the 1st inning on Tulowitzki's 3-run home run to left, his 19th. 1 out. Snell's pitch is outside. If you're at the Rogers Center and you're watching and listening, look up at the scoreboard. Not only in the middle do you see Josh Donaldson's face and some notes on him. You see the Blue Jays line up to the left. You see the Rays line up to the right. There's only one 300 hitter. He's at first base. Donaldson takes a strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Travis now hitting .309. So much for average, but it points out what a good hitter he has become.
We've seen a lot of good things early in his young career, and I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him. John Gibbons believes he can be a very good major league hitter for a long time.
Pitch to Donaldson, swinging a ground ball foul past third base coach Luis Rivera, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Donaldson can't do it all. His last 10 games, he's just 8 for 34, hitting .235. And that's where others have to pick him up. And tonight, Tulowitzki has done that, and Devin Travis, in particular, those two, for a 4-0 lead, out hitting the Rays 5-3. Just in the 2nd inning, as Devin draws the throw at first base, Donaldson is so good at what he does, but he can't be expected to do it day in and day out.
Well, the strength of this team last year, too. Of course, there's the heart of your order, but you need help all around, and this was a very deep lineup last year. They've been in a little bit of a lull offensively, but looking to get back on track, 1 through 9.
Stretched by Snell. His 1-2 pitch is outside. It's interesting to note the Blue Jays in August here are 5-4. As a club, they've hit .210. That's last in the American League this month. They're averaging 2.89 runs per game. That's next to last. And they have the most strikeouts this month in the American League, 194. And yet they're 5-4. Trying to break out of it here tonight. 2-2 pitch. Inside in the dirt. Now, Devin tried to maybe think about going to second. Couldn't do it. Good recovery by the catcher, Maley. And it's 3-2 on Donaldson.
Every day is a new assignment for these hitters because you get a different pitcher on the mound. And a night like tonight's a young pitcher that nobody's faced, so they watch a lot of video. Of course, they've got scouting reports provided to them by their hitting coaches, and they do their best again to gather all of the knowledge. Now you get in the batter's box, and you have to have that plan. What do you think he's going to do in certain situations? And you look to try to give yourself that advantage.
Snell set. Travis does not go. The pitch topped on the ground, third base side, taken by the pitcher. He throws to second, and they get the sliding Travis. No throw back to first. Good play there by Snell. And 2 down.
Designated hitter number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
The last aspect of that offense here in August, which hasn't produced very much as we just recounted. Hitting with runners in scoring position over the first 9 games. The Blue Jays are also last this month, hitting 153. But tonight, they've turned that around. Tulowitzki with a 2-out, 3-run home run to left. And then here, after Barney's 1-out double, the single to right by Travis to knock him home. That's what the Blue Jays have not been doing, but tonight they are. And enjoy a 4-0 lead early on. Edwin up. He takes way outside, ball 1.
And gents, quick update from the St. Louis Barn Grill Out of Town scoreboard. I told you I would pass along why Nate Eovaldi came out of the game with the Yankees and Red Sox as soon as I could. We just found out right elbow discomfort, so that's not good news. He's going back to New York for further evaluation.
Thank you, Mike. 1-0 the count on Edwin. He takes it low, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Encarnacion struck out looking back in the first inning. That's when the Blue Jays had 2 on with nobody out. Then Snell induced Russ Martin to line out to center, and there were 2 down, but that's when Tulowitzki spoiled the inning for him. And because of an error allowing Donaldson to reach by the right fielder Steven Souza, all the runs unearned. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Edwin chases the pitch out of the zone a bit, 2-1. Now Edwin has been, like Donaldson, a model of consistency. You're not going to be consistent throughout the entire year, but in his last 50 games, Edwin hitting .303 with 19 home runs and 47 runs batted in. It's a high foul down the first base side. That's going to head to the camera bay. The first baseman over, leans in, and looked like it was just off the glove of Brad Miller. What a try he made. And a life for Edwin here. It's 2-2.
Well, Brad Miller new to the first base position, but he did a nice job getting to that short little wall and then reaching over just off of his glove. Looked like he almost had it and dropped it, but he did everything he could. Really couldn't reach any further.
Donaldson is smiling with him there, saying, thanks a lot. Now, learn this position. Next time we see you, you'll have a lot more games under your belt. And a balk has been called. A balk called. Tim Leeper picked up on it right away, as did the first base umpire. And the plate umpire came out, too. Up to second base goes Donaldson on the balk as the young left-hander was looking in, Snell. And then as he looked in, he started to move, and then he stopped. And that's enough for a balk. Once you start to move into your position, you have to continue.
He was just leaning over, waiting to get the sign from his catcher, but Luke Maley was looking in the dugout. One of the coaches in there will be giving signs to control the running game, and it was taking him a while. Snell just went a little bit early.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. To be 23 and being your 11th major league start, and you're just starting your career.
Against a fairly veteran lineup, too. And, you know, you got to wonder how much that home run by Tulowitzki in the first inning really rattled this youngster. If he gets out of that inning, it might be a whole different story.
Donaldson in scoring position. Edwin takes ball 4, and here comes Martin. Now, tough inning in 2/3. Here comes pitching coach Jim Hickey. Snell's thrown 55 pitches already. But a lot of that is not of his own doing, but he's had trouble picking up his teammates.
And that's a big difference right there. Pitching in the major leagues, you're facing Edwin Encarnacion. You get a 3-2 count and you throw the big breaking ball. Probably didn't have to do that a whole lot at the AAA level or throughout the minor leagues. He could just rear back and throw that good fastball. But that's the biggest difference about this level.
So Jim Hickey with some words of wisdom here. Pat on the back to Snell. Martin will come up here, lined out to center, his first time up. We're just in the bottom of the second inning. Blue Jays 4, Rays nothing. This game is just 5 minutes shy of the 1 hour mark already. We don't often say that in the second inning. Donaldson at second, Encarnacion at first. So Jim Hickey back in the first base cut dugout. Glove at the chest. First pitch, outside, ball one. Blue Jays and Rays have played 12 games this year. Rays lead the series 7-5. It's the only team in the East the Blue Jays do not have a winning record against. Martin takes a strike, 1-1. Blue Jays are 7-6 against both Baltimore and Boston, 7-2 against the Yankees, and 5-7 against the Rays. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, they do have a winning record against the Yankees as well. They're 5-4. Just 3-9 against Baltimore, 4-5 against Boston. Russ takes outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Nobody likes to play the spoiler role if you can avoid it, but when you do play it, like last night, the Rays will take it.
Well, they don't have a choice right now with what they've done to themselves in the standings in the American League East, but they can have a lot of implications here, what happens to these other teams.
Russ takes outside, ball 3. Now Snell's got to find it himself here. Nobody's warming up in the Rays bullpen in right center. So Martin will be looking to be aggressive here and attack this next pitch. 2 down. And the pitch is inbound. And it's high, ball 4. The bases are loaded for Troy Tulowitzki. And now the phone is starting to ring for the first time. You just don't want to leave a pitcher out there to, fend for himself when it gets to this particular point where maybe you can help him with some support.
Yeah, he really needs an out here to try to get through this. It's been a long inning, a long couple of innings, and that Rays bullpen is scattering right now.
Bases loaded, 4-0 Blue Jays here in the second inning. Tulowitzki hits a ground ball to third, past Donaldson in foul ground. So the count, no balls and 1 strike. So Dylan Floro, who's already pitched in this series, that was back on Monday night, will start to warm up in that Rays pen in right center. Tulowitzki with his 19th home run came with 2 outs, 2 on in the bottom of the first inning. Drove it down the left field line and it just got over the wall. Strike 1 pitch is inside. It didn't have lift on it. In fact, he hit the top of the ball. It was coming down so hard with topspin. The question was, would it come down so hard, hit the top of the wall, but it just got into the Blue Jays pen.
Slider down and in, and Tulo just dropped the bat head on it. It was a line shot, and you're right about that. It's just a matter of whether it's going to get out or not. It was hit so hard.
In his career with the bases loaded, Troy hitting .355 with a couple of grand slams. He takes it low, 2-1, and now he's got a favorable count to add to those glowing numbers.
It took a while for Floro in that bullpen to find his glove, and sometimes when that phone rings in the second inning, guys are a little surprised. Phone's not supposed to ring that early in the ballgame.
Donaldson at third, Encarnacion at second, Martin at first. They take their leads. And the 2-1 pitch. Fly ball foul down the right field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And remember now, this is the second time around, too, against Snell.
And interesting, this time around, the 2-1 pitch was a fastball, not going back to that breaking ball against Tulowitzki. I got to believe he might see the heater again, trying to blow it by him.
2-2 on Troy. Melvin Upton on deck. Snell looks in. Takes the glove, puts it right there in front of his chest. And the 2-2 pitch. High ball 3, and Snell does a little pirouette on the mound there, upset at himself with that pitch, and he certainly is showing he's 23 and just a babe in arms in this game.
It was at 95 miles per hour. I think he was trying to throw it 105 to try to end this inning, but that does not help you as a pitcher when you amp up like that and jump out with your front side.
The runners will be going. The kid against the veteran. Snell against Tulowitzki. The stretch. Crowd into it. Runners go. 3-2 pitch. Fouled off first base side, and we go again. The game is now into its second hour. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Blue Jays. No runs, 3 hits for the Rays. Bottom of the second inning. Snell 66 pitches, 36 strikes, 30 balls. The 23-year-old from Seattle, Washington is ready. Runners go. 3-2 pitch, foul back right-hand side. And it's tough to throw a ball by a veteran like this if you're a kid.
Troy Tulowitzki's making it very difficult on the youngster because he's amped up a couple of good fastballs, but Tulo's fouled both of them off. What's that doing? It's making the youngster continue to throw strikes. And in this situation, that's not easy.
2 strikeouts, 3 walks, and a balk in the game so far for Snell. So Troy back in there again. Very erect stance. Back at third, his teammate at Long Beach State, Evan Longoria. Stretch. There go the runners again. 3-2 pitch is low, ball 4. Donaldson scores. The Blue Jays 5, the Rays nothing. Here comes Kevin Cash, and that's going to be it for the rookie here tonight. That's a great plate appearance there for Tulowitzki. Didn't try to do too much.
Well, he sure is, and you give the kid on the mound credit. He went with a 3-2 changeup. You cannot keep throwing fastballs to a guy like Tulowitzki. A veteran hitter like that, is he eventually going to get you? He's timing you up each and every fastball that you throw. I give him credit for going to the changeup. It was a great pitch. He just missed a little bit used, but yes, third base coach. And a lot of times in the big leagues now, too, teams can be giving signs from the bench. There's many ways to give signs. A lot of times that third base coach could be just giving fake signs that really don't mean a whole lot. But yeah, anytime a player gets traded, you have to be aware of that. Change it up at least when you play that team. As a catcher, though, when I've got certain signs that I'm working with pitchers, and with a runner on second base, for example, yes, you've got to change everything up when you're playing that team, because that's the one drawback when you do trade a player is you have to be very cognizant of what's going on around you.
Melvin Upton comes to the plate. 2 runs in, second inning. Blue Jays up 5-0 over the visiting Rays. And to win this series 2-1. Bases remain loaded. Upton, first time up, walked. Snell would walk 4 here tonight, striking out 2. Floro set. Dillon's first pitch, low, ball 1.
Floro came in on Monday night with 2 on and nobody out. He walked the first batter he faced to load the bases. After a strikeout and a fielder's choice, he issued an RBI single and a 2-run double against the Blue Jays.
Edwin down from third. Martin's at second. Tulowitzki at first. The 1-0 pitch popped up in the shallow right field. The first baseman goes back, still on the dirt, looking up into a pale blue sky. Makes the catch. The inning is over. The Blue Jays add 2 more. So at the end of 2, 5-0 Blue Jays with the Rays in the house. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network. 75. Visit your GTA Acura dealer for details. Jay Happ and the Blue Jays enjoy a 5-0 lead. We go to the 3rd inning. The Rays bring up Kiermaier, Evan Longoria, and Brad Miller. They're 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Jay has had 2 scoreless innings, but he's had to work at it. The Rays left 2 on in the first, 2 on in the second. Kiermaier with a bunt single up along third, first time up. Takes strike 1 called, and it's about as shallow as we've seen Josh Donaldson play for a good hitter and bunter this year. Kiermaier fouls one off to the right-hand side, 0-2. Now Josh will turn and walk back to a more conventional depth at third.
Well, that actually is a little bit comical, and we've come to know Josh now, and I'm sure what he's doing is coming right up on Kiermaier and say, "You're not bunting this time. Go ahead, try it." He dropped a perfect bunt down in his first at-bat.
Happ's pitch chased and just fouled off the end of the bat, third base side. No balls and 2 strikes. John Gibbons was talking about Josh yesterday. He said, "I just can't give him enough praise for what he's done. Not only what he's done on the field, but what he has brought to the clubhouse." He said, "If I had to manage and police everybody, it would not get done." The pitch is outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We needed that. He brought some toughness to the clubhouse. He plays hard. He's fun-loving. But when the game starts, he's all business. And you need that from a player, especially to get into your teammates' faces if they're not playing. 1-2 pitch outside.
I think some of the best managers that I played for were just like that. They guide the ship. But what goes on in that clubhouse and among teammates, they can take care of themselves. And I think that's what John Gibbons has with this group. It's such a veteran-laden team.
Pitch, fly ball foul, deep to right field. And you need a catcher to do that as well. And Russ Martin is a very strong leader that way, handling the pitching staff. Donaldson is right there on the infield. And you need to have all aspects covered, not just one leader.
They're all different personalities, too, and that's a good thing. Sometimes guys are fiery, other guys are quiet leaders. They can all work.
Pitch is fouled off. Give you a case in point, too. It's not all about one star. Since Clayton Kershaw went on the disabled list for the Dodgers, they've moved into first place, a tie with the Giants. They've won far more than they've lost without him. That's how strong the Dodgers are right now. And it's not about one person on a 25-man roster. Happ is low to Kiermaier, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, and for the Dodgers' sake, too, they're really starting to swing the bats, which certainly comes in handy. And this is the thing. If you can get hot without Clayton Kershaw, how about when he does come back? The Dodgers will be welcoming him back and ready to make their run, and they're doing it on the Giants right now.
Ground ball through into right field, a base hit. Picked up by Saunders. Takes his time, lobs it back on a hop to second. Kiermaier is 2 for 2, and Kevin now has 5 hits in the series. Evan Longoria hit a 1-hopper to second. A double play ball back in that first inning, and the ball kicked off the glove and body of Devin Travis. He recovered to throw out Longoria at first. Happ was in trouble, however, with that double play not made, and then he came out of it, leaving 2 men on. 2 more in the second, and here he's got a runner on to lead off the third, but a 5-0 lead. And the pitch is low and inside, ball 1. This is going to be interesting to chart Jay Happ's start. Jay, in his last start, did a very nice job. Happ pitched in Houston. He went 6 innings, gave up 1 run on 4 base hits with 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, and won his 15th to go 15-3. That's the record that he brings in here tonight. Longoria fouls one off to the right. Happ, like Estrada yesterday and Dickey the day before, pitching with 5 days rest with the new 6-man rotation. And with every start, that 6-man rotation will be scrutinized, and so far the last 2 starts have not been pretty, bringing up a lot of conversation about it. So we'll see what Jay does here tonight. His pitch popped up foul, back out of play. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, that was one of the drawbacks of this decision going to a 6-man rotation, is it's going to alter their pitching routines. Now, when Pete Walker talked about that, he felt that this was a veteran-type rotation, that when you get into August like this, maybe that extra time can help. But time will tell. We'll see how they go through this. John Gibbons touched on that again today, where he said, we'll roll with this for a little bit, and we'll see how things go. And so I'm sure there's going to be adjustments made along the way.
Ground ball to third, 1 hop to Donaldson, go to second, 1. Travis back to first, pull it 2, a double play. Donaldson to Travis to Smoke.
First baseman number 13, Brad Miller.
Well, Josh Donaldson started it. Ball hit hard right at him. He gives Devin Travis a perfect feed at second base, chest high, allowing Travis to turn that very quickly. Nice pick out of the dirt by Justin Smoke. Snow coning that pick from Travis's throw.
The big Condor's got that big wingspan. Brad Miller up, left-handed hitter. Swing and a miss, strike one. So I think it's fair to say at this particular point, Happ has not been at his best. And the whole key is, and Estrada referred to this yesterday regarding his routine and discipline between starts. The pitch is low. And he said it's different. So you don't want pitchers to concentrate more on their between starts discipline and routine than getting hitters out in the game itself.
Yeah, and that can be a lot between the ears too, so the pitchers will need to make that adjustment. This is their first start.
A foul off to the left into the 200 area. It's 1-2.
That's what I said. I think we'll see where this goes this first time through, and then maybe that second time through. The problem is with the days off coming up, there's going to be times when there's 6 days between starts, and there could even be 7 the next time once they get back home from that road trip.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Miller goes down, and so do the Rays. We go to the bottom of the third. Blue Jays 5, Tampa Bay nothing. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays baseball on the Annie Budweiser and Burger combo. Go to BlueJays.com/Bud BP contest for details and rules. We go to the bottom of the third inning. 5-0 Blue Jays. Right-hander and reliever already, Dylan Floro, with strike one to the left-handed hitting Michael Saunders, who struck out first time up. Half swing, does he go? No. 1 ball and 1 strike. Saunders will be followed by Justin Smoke and Darwin Barney. Michael looks a strike over on the inside corner, 1-2. First inning, 2 outs, 2 on. Troy Tulowitzki with a 3-run home run to left down the line into the Blue Jays bullpen, his 19th to make it 3-0. And Devin Travis single homer run in the second. Later, a bases loaded walk to Tulowitzki to make it 5-0. A foul off to the right. All watched by first base coach Tim Leeper. We had a lot of fun today talking to Tim about a great article by J.P. Antonacci with the Canadian Baseball Network. And his first line in the article was, "Third base coaches get all the glory." And we were visiting with Luis Rivera at the same time, and he smiled. The 1-2 pitch, half swing, does he go? Yes. On the appeal, says third base ump David Rackley. And with that strikeout, 1 down. But it's a great article. Joe, you're in there a lot talking about first base coaches. And in the game, the preparation is so crucial. And you talked about what Tim does in video work, working with stolen bases, jumps, leads, and the outfielders.
Oh, we were talking about that even yesterday when he was out here early in the afternoon with Kevin Pillar. Kevin working on his jumps, practicing stealing bases, and Tim was simulating being the pitcher out there. And there's a lot of things he can see in video and watching pitchers and tendencies that might tip off a base runner to help him get a great jump.
Switch hitter Justin Smoke, now batting left-handed, takes strike one.
Oftentimes it's just a matter of how long they hold the baseball. Some pitchers will have a tendency when they come set and when they hold the ball a long time, it generally means they're going to the plate. If they're going to throw over, they do it quickly.
Now the right-hander Floro misses inside 1-1.
Other tendencies could involve body movements. They might tip their back shoulder a little bit before they deliver the ball to the plate. If they're throwing over, they might tweak their other shoulder. So there's all those little things that can help get a great jump as a base stealer.
Smoke takes strike 2 called. Tim has been on Canada's World Baseball Classic team. And by the way, the next WBC tournament's coming up next year. But Tim's been with Team Canada in 2006, 9, and 13. Then with the Pan Am game, the teams too. There's a swing and a miss. Down goes Smoke on a pitch, a fastball up on his hands. 2 down on strikeouts. Won the Pan Am gold medal as a coach back in 2011 with Team Canada. And I thought he really had a great line. We were talking about this as well at the batting cage tonight. He said at first base when you're coaching, you're developing a play before it happens. At third base as a coach, you're reacting to the play as it happens.
As a first base coach, it's all about preparation, and he's trying to prepare the hitter who gets to first base with a lot of information.
Darwin Barney takes strike 1 called here in this bottom of the third inning. The Blue Jays with a 5-0 lead over the Rays. Barney broke an 0 for 17 with a double and run scored back in the second. He takes it outside. 1-1, trying to go down and shake the hand of Tim Leeper as we speak about Tim.
And Tim's right. The third base coaches do get a lot of all of the praise, but that's when you wave guys home and they're safe. What about when you wave them home and they're out?
There's a ground ball to shortstop, taken by Tim Beckham. He throws to first, and it's dropped. A low throw, dropped by Brad Miller. And guess who's going to say hi to Tim Leeper? Another error for Tampa Bay. The first one cost them 3 runs, all unearned in the first inning, and now a poor throw by the shortstop.
Well, Brad Miller is playing in his 3rd career game at first base, and this is what the Rays have resorted to. They moved him off shortstop. Been very shaky over there, and this is a ball that has to be handled. It's not quite in the dirt. He just didn't reach out, but a position very new to him. That's one thing the Rays have done. They've sacrificed a lot of defense in the moves they made, and certainly not paying off.
So even with the poor throw, they're going to charge Miller with the error. Here's Devin Travis. He's 2 for 2. He has singled and scored and single home run. It continues this 3rd inning here as he takes ball 1. 5-0 Blue Jays, out hitting the Rays 5-4. The Rays with errors numbers 71 and 72. Devin looks it over outside. 2 balls and no strikes. It's hard to hide a third base coach. It's a little easier to hide a first base coach.
A lot of very difficult decisions for third base coaches, and they have to gather a lot of information in their minds before plays happen.
Taking it outside is Devin. 3 balls and no strikes. So congratulations, young writer J.P. Antonacci. A great job with the Canadian Baseball Network on Tim Leeper. And Joe, I know he interviewed you too because you had a lot of good comments.
Well, a lot of good things to say about Tim Leeper. I have a lot of conversations with Tim throughout the afternoons during batting practice.
Devin takes a strike, 3-1.
And I like to talk about those intricacies of the game. And I know as a player, first base coach can help you an awful lot. Now, I wasn't a base stealer by any means, but you can still be a very good base runner even though you're not fast. That's going first to third on a base hit. That's scoring from second on a base hit when some other runners may not.
1 pitch, line to second, caught right there in the face of Logan Forsythe. Another hard hit ball by Devin. This time the Rays get him. So no damage done. 5 Rays, nothing. Tampa Bay bats here in the top of the 4th. Mikey Mott took up here. Took a called 3rd strike, leaving 2 runners on to end the scoreless 1st inning. Half of the first pitch strike here off speed to begin this 4th. Steven Souza, Tim Beckham to follow. And the pitch is high. Mata grew up in Lafayette, Louisiana, and then went to the school in that area that they all love to go to and play baseball, LSU, Louisiana State University. The pitch lifted into center field. Melvin Upton scoots a bit into right center, looks up into a kind of a murky sky, makes the catch, 1 down. He said it was always a dream for me to go to LSU and have a game-winning walk-off hit, and he fulfilled that dream. That's a kid growing up saying, that's my team. And now he's in the major leagues. The Rays made him a 1st-round pick out of LSU 5 years ago.
Always nice when you can stay close to home and have family and friends watch you as a college player.
The batter now, Steven Souza. He walked in the 2nd inning. A foul, back to the screen, strike 1. Introducing Sportsnet Now, a new way to live stream sports without cable TV. Visit sportsnet.ca/now to start your free trial today. Half to his hitter. Half swing. Looked like he checked it and fouled it off at the plate. He did. No balls and 2 strikes. Souza's asking the plate umpire, you sure I fouled that pitch? And Clint Fagan said, for me, you did, so it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Russell got in on the conversation. He said, yeah, you did. Just to confirm things.
No partiality there. Strike 2 pitch. Check swing, ground ball to the mound. Happ has it, takes his time. Throws it on to first. 2 down.
Stop number 1, Tim Beckham.
Tim Beckham struck out in the 2nd inning. Right now, one of the keys to this game, and perhaps the biggest key, goes back to the bottom of the 1st inning. And Devin Travis opened with a base hit, and then Josh Donaldson hit a fly ball foul down the right field line. Souza came over, was under it in foul ground, and dropped it. The ball just kicked right off the heel of his glove. That allowed Donaldson a reprieve, and he singled to right field. That set up a 3-run rally. Beckham takes strike 1 called. The young starter and left-hander Blake Snell retired Encarnacion and Martin, but could not retire Tulowitzki, who hit a 3-run home run down the left field line to make all the runs unearned, capitalizing on that big mistake. A swing and a miss, no balls and 2 strikes. Then in the second inning, Darwin Barney with 1 out doubled. Travis singled him home. And then Snell just unraveled and walked 3 in a row. The last to Tulowitzki with the bases loaded to make it 5-0. And that is the score here in the top of the 4th. Strike 2 pitch, fouled off first base side. First innings are so key to games, and you hate, if you're the Rays, to give it up like that when an error factors in.
Well, that home run, too, by Tulowitzki is going to prove very big, of course, if Blue Jays hang on to this lead. Anytime you can get to a pitcher in that first inning, especially a young one, this is a good young pitcher. If he gets into a groove, you never know what might happen here tonight.
Beckham on a check swing. Does he go? No, he does not. So they count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We're seeing Jay Happ go to his off-speed pitches a little bit more these last couple of innings. He's a fastball pitcher, but this is a team that likes to go up hacking and swinging. And when they're teeing off on that fastball, it looks like Russell's making a bit of an adjustment this second time through the order.
One-two pitch to Beckham in the dirt. Gets away from Russ. The ball rolls to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jay Happ enjoying another banner year after a great finish last year with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's into his motion. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The inning is over. That's 5. And 5's a big number. The Blue Jays have it, leading 5-0. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 5-0 Blue Jays. The Rays reliever, Dylan Floro, who came on in the second inning for young starter Blake Snell, misses inside ball 1 to Josh Donaldson. Josh has scored a couple of runs already, has singled and bounced into a fielder's choice. Blue Jays with 5 runs on 5 hits. Donaldson takes a strike. The Blue Jays had hit 17 straight home runs with nobody on. When Tulowitzki ended that with a 3-run home run on the first, Donaldson was aboard to score one of those 3 runs. Half swing, does he go around? 1 ball and 1 strike. Donaldson wringing out his hand there. Those are check swings that can cause a little bit of a problem.
I've talked to more players, and they continue to say when they check swing, they try to keep going. It's just something, but when you do check swing, you can feel it in that wrist.
And he did go around, so it's a ball and 2 strikes. Next pitch on the way. High, and hands and wrists are so delicate, and yet when you start jamming them with half swings, it can create a problem.
And Kevin Pillar talked about that when he was referring to his thumb, which he went on the disabled list for, is that 3rd finger. Edwin did it last year too. Ring finger on that bottom hand of the bat.
Josh tops a ground ball to short. Beckham has it. Sprinting to first, Donaldson. The throw is there to get him. 1 down.
Designated hitter, number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Our injury reports are brought to you by Sokolov Personal Injury Lawyers. Don't put it off. Call Sokolov. Visit areyouhurt.ca. And Josh would never tell you that he was hurt. That's the kind of player he is.
Well, that's the problem. A lot of these guys are not going to say much. I think Kevin was playing hurt with that thumb from that diving catch in Houston before he actually hurt it for real on the base pass.
Edwin takes inside ball 1.
It's hard to go 6 months throughout the course of a season with not have something, your hamstring or your lower back. Could be your arm if you're an outfitter, and something always, especially as a hitter, when you talk about your hands and fingers, so important.
Encarnacion is struck out and walked. 5-0 Blue Jays over the Rays, 4th inning. Floro with a strike on the inside corner. Good off-speed pitch, 1-1. Backed up in left field, Mikey Matuk. A swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Edwin comes to the plate here with 31 home runs. Now tied for the Major League lead with Todd Frazier with the Chicago White Sox and Mark Trumbo with Baltimore. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Floro throws one at 92 miles an hour. Well placed away. 2 down.
The catcher, number 55, Russell Martin.
I'll tell you where there's some injured pride. Even though yesterday the Red Sox won in New York against the Yankees, closer Craig Kimbrell walked 4 in the 9th inning. He was pulled finally by John Farrell. Matt Barnes with his first major league save. That can't be too good for the Boston Red Sox. Kimbrell's already had his moments right here earlier in the season. The batter is Russ Martin. He takes up and in ball 1.
Kimbrell missing some time on the disabled list, but coming back, the Red Sox certainly need that big right-handed arm. And when things aren't going well for him, that's a big blow to their bullpen.
4 walks in the 9th inning, and finally John Farrell had seen enough. Blue Jays and Orioles tied for first, a game and a half up on Boston. Martin takes strike 1 called. Russ is lined out to center and walked. Blake Snell, the rookie left-hander, went an inning and 2/3 through 68 pitches, gave up 5 runs, only 2 earned on 5 hits. Happ has gone 4 scoreless innings, allowing 4 hits. Pitches outside 2-1. Jay has struck out 5 along the way. 1 walk, got a big double play back in the 3rd inning, and then struck out Matuk with 2 on to end the 1st inning. Martin hits a fly ball to right field deep. Back towards Souza. He's running out of room. He's at the wall. He jumps, and that ball's off the wall. Base hit. It's picked up by center fielder Kevin Kiermaier. Into second goes Martin. He's got a double, and Souza's got a work out there in right field. And Steven hit that wall pretty hard. He's in a deep knee bend now in right field on a pitch that just carried and carried and carried. And when he got to the wall and jumped, he never really saw the ball. It missed his glove hand by inches.
And you wonder again how much that warning track plays on an outfielder not being able to tell with your feet when you're close to the wall. I think that he thought he was closer to the wall than he actually was. He almost mistimed his leap towards the wall, and he actually whiffed on the baseball. Didn't even hit his glove, but he was there.
That's a good way to put it. He whiffed on the baseball. So the Rays now will start to get somebody else in their bullpen warming up. Danny Farquhar, former Blue Jay pitcher. Here's Tulowitzki. Troy takes strike 1 called. He has a big swing tonight, without question. A 2-out, 3-run home run to left, his 19th in the 1st inning. Then he walked with the bases loaded in the next inning. He has 4 RBIs already. His career high, 7. He's done that twice, the last time, 2010. Right-hander Dylan Floro's pitch. A strike called. Smart break to it. A little late break to it. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
Floro's around 92, 93 with that fastball. Nice little cutter that he'll throw an awful lot to, running it just away from those right-handed batters. Change-up as well.
So Martin at second with his 2-out hit. Again, a play not made by the Tampa Bay Rays. They have 2 errors as it is, leading to 3 unearned runs. But this, not an error, but a catchable ball. Strike 2 pitch. Fastball, strike 3 call. It becomes a moot point. The inning is over. We go to the 5th and 6th. Mike Wilner to call it for you. Blue Jays 5, Rays nothing. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Happ's first pitch to Richie Schaefer is taken for a strike, 0-1. Schaefer just called up from AAA earlier this month, is DHing today. Got his first hit of the season back in the 2nd inning. It was a single. This kid has all kinds of power. 0-1 is swung on and missed, 0-2, but he also does that a lot.
It's a pretty good changeup right there by Happ, and it was right on that outside corner. You talk about location being number 1 for a pitcher. You can locate that changeup out there, very tough to get to. Now he's ahead 0-2.
And here comes the pitch. It swung on and popped up. Shallow right field. Devin Travis calling for it, and he makes the catch in front of the incoming Michael Saunders for the first out. The Blue Jays took the lead in the very first inning. Devin Travis and Josh Donaldson led off the ballgame with back-to-back singles. Donaldson was on a second life because he'd hit a foul ball down the right field side that Steven Souza Jr. came over, camped under, and dropped, allowing Donaldson to get that hit. And that was pretty huge, as it turned out, as Happ's first pitch is low to Luke Maile. Because with 2 out in the inning, Troy Tulowitzki belted a 3-2 pitch into the Jays bullpen and left for his 19th home run of the season to give the Blue Jays a 3-0 lead. There's a ground ball to short, right to Tulowitzki. He fires it over to first, 2 down. It was the Blue Jays' first home run with a runner on base out of their last 18 home runs. They've gone a club record 17 homers in a row, all being solo shots. All the runs unearned because Souza dropped that foul ball. The Blue Jays tacked on a couple more in the second inning on an RBI single by Devin Travis that followed a Darwin Barney double, and a bases-loaded walk to Tulowitzki. Jay Happ has allowed 4 hits through 4 2/3 as he faces Logan Forsythe here, and he's retired the last 7 Rays he's faced. And he fires a first pitch strike. So now you've been brought up to speed. 5-0 Blue Jays, top of the 5th, as Happ bids for his 16th win. 0-1 pitch, just off the outside corner, ball 1-1. There's a pitch off the plate outside, ball 2. And yeah, pitcher wins don't really mean as much as they used to, as we've sort of come around to the fact that it has a lot more to do with your teammates than you. You pitch really well and get a loss or no decision. Pitch really poorly and win. But it's kind of cool to lead the league in August. 2-1 pitch is up, ball 3, 3-1. And there is no major league pitcher with 16 wins right now.
Well, Jay Happ enjoying a very fine season, and that's where you have to look and say, yes, it is indicative of how he's pitched, and certainly things can go both ways, but I still like to think a little something of pitcher wins.
That pitch is inside, ball 4. And, you know, when it's tough to fluke your way into 19-4, for example. Although Storm Davis did do that once with the Oakland A's. I think he was 19-5 with an ERA close to 5. But when you look at a guy like a Marco Estrada, who's been as good as anybody and is 7-5, that sort of makes you think, man, you know.
Had some tough luck, not a lot of run support, no question.
Jay Happ at 15-3. And his first pitch to Kevin Kiermaier is swung on and missed. Happ with an ERA of 2.99 as well, a whip of 1.15, a legitimate contender for the Cy Young Award with a quarter of the season remaining. 0-1 fouled into the glove of Russ Martin, and it's 0-2.
Donaldson playing way in at third again against Kiermaier. Now that there's 2 strikes, he'll head back. But this is what it does for you as a speed player like Kiermaier that does bunt for base hit. You draw him in. Now you may have a chance to slap something past the third baseman early in the at-bat.
0-2 pitch. High, ball 1. We used to see Tony Fernandez do that a lot. He was sort of the king at the butcher boy sort of thing. Slap past the drawn-in infielder. Need great back control to be able to do that. 1-2 pitch is high, ball 2.
And when hitters do that, it's so tough to defend when they show bunt, so it draws the infielders in, and then they can almost move. It's almost like in softball. You see the women do that in softball where they can look like they're slashing, pull back, and then slap it again, and you can really beat an infield that's moving around.
2-2 pitch, swung on and tipped into the glove of Russ Martin. And that's another strikeout for Jay Happ. He gives up nothing but the 2-out walk, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. The Blue Fans, submit your questions via Twitter using the hashtag HHExperts and have them answered in the game by our team of experts here in the booth. Brought to you by Home Hardware, homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. We're always watching that hashtag HHExperts, so make sure you fill up our timeline with good questions. Bottom of the 5th, and it's 5-0 Blue Jays. Danny Farquhar is in to pitch for the Tampa Bay Rays, former Blue Jay farmhand. And he starts Melvin Upton Jr. off with a curveball inside for ball 1. Upton has a walk. He's popped up. He's stolen 2 bases tonight. He swings and misses at that pitch. 1-1. Melvin is still looking for his first extra base hit as a Blue Jay. He did have 29 of them with the Padres, including 16 home runs. 1-1 pitch whacked into the gap in left center field. That might be it. Matuk comes over to cut it off, and Upton will hold up at first base. It's a single for Melvin Upton Jr. to lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th.
Right fielder number 21, Michael Saunders.
Off to a rough start with the Blue Jays, Joe, but you know that Upton's not going to be hitting 130 for his tenure with this team.
Well, that's why you got to give a guy some time with his new club, give him a number of at-bats, and he's going to get them now with Kevin Pillar on the disabled list. I think we'll find out here very soon what Melvin Upton has to offer.
Brings up Michael Saunders, who struck out twice, and he takes the first pitch down and in from Farquhar for ball one. Saunders struck out against the lefty Blake Snell to end the first inning, which Blue Jays scored 3 on the 3-run homer by Troy Tulowitzki. And he struck out against the righty Dylan Floor to lead off the third. Now he's up against Farquhar. Upton draws a throw, and he's barely back safely. Melvin, Anthony Gose used to take serious leads off of first base, and you wondered how he was going to manage to get back. Upton kind of does the same thing.
He gets a lot, and we saw him the other night, a lot of very close pickoff throws from the pitcher.
And the Rays know Upton very well. Another throw over, and again back safely. He stole second and third with Saunders at the plate in the first inning. And if he steals second here, the Rays are going to have to come out of the shift after what happened last time. He's leaning. He doesn't go. The 1-0 is swung on and missed. 1-1.
I always like a pitcher's pickoff move. The last one we saw from Farquhar right there, they're leaning over their front leg, getting the sign from the catcher. Once they have the sign and they start up, spin and throw right there. For young kids, it's a great pickoff move because most runners are waiting for you to come up to that set position, catch them off guard, maybe leaning a little bit.
And he is very definitely leaning towards second. He doesn't go. The pitch is up and away. Ball 2, 2-1. Upton, 2 steals for the Blue Jays without being caught. He was 20 of 25 with the Padres. Your stats still reset when you change leagues, even with interleague play. Pitch to Saunders, hit weakly on the ground to second. Forsythe is only going to have one play. It's to first to get Saunders, as Upton comes to second for the first out. Fans, it's a doubleheader on Sportsnet 1. The Orioles are in Oakland to face the Athletics, and then the ultimate MLB rivalry continues at Fenway as the Yankees take on the Red Sox. That's tomorrow, starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 Pacific on Sportsnet 1, plus live stream on Sportsnet Now. Justin Smoke stands in 0 for 2. First pitch hit hard on the ground but foul. Tim Leeper has it pop in and out of his bare hand. Strike one. Fans trying to get the wave going here at Rogers Center with a 5-0 lead in the 5th inning. Oh, 1 pitch. Upton goes. Swung on a miss. Throw it down. Not close. Melvin Upton Jr. with his 3rd stolen base tonight. Season high for the Blue Jays. 3 steals in 1 game. And it's 0-2 on Smoke.
Well, he just timed the pitcher that time. Farquhar just coming set, looking, and then delivering home. And when they set a pattern like that, he can see exactly what he's up to. He got a great jump. Maley had no shot.
0-2 pitch is way high to Smoke. Ball 1, 1-2. Jose Reyes stole 3 bases June 11th last season. That's the last time a Blue Jay had 3 steals in a game. Infield in now. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Breaking ball chased by Smoke, and there's 2 away. Brings up Darwin Barney, and the Rays infield will go back to normal depth. Darwin doubled and reached on an error. He's 1 for 2. Was 0 for 17 coming into the game, then just had a nice little double the other way in the 2nd inning. He takes that pitch outside, ball 1. 5-0 Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 5th. The Jays trying to win a series. This is the rubber match. They've out-hit the Rays 7-4. Tampa's made the game's only 2 errors. 1-0 to Barney is skied to shallow left. Longoria goes back. He's under it in foul territory. He'll make the catch, and the inning is over. So the leadoff double by Upton is stranded at 3rd after his 3rd stolen base of the night. And we go to the 6th. It's the Blue Jays 5 The Tampa Bay's nothing. Goria, who was grounded out twice today, once into a double play. Happ into his windup, and the first pitch from the lefty is a fastball poured in for a strike, 0-1. Troy Tulowitzki, a 3-run homer in the first inning on a 3-2 pitch with 2 out. First multi-run home run for the Blue Jays this month. Longoria swings and misses. It's 0-2. Jays are off tomorrow, and the Houston Astros come to town for 3, starting Friday. Pitch is high, ball 1, 1-2. The Astros are in some kind of tailspin right now. Falling to 8.5 games out in the West, 5.5 games out in the wild card. 1-2 pitch is low, ball 2. There was a point not long ago where they were a half game out of the second wild card in the American League. Jays went into Houston and took 3 of 4. 2-2 to Longoria is hit in the air to left field and hit deep. It is hooking and twisting, and it is foul. Some notes on Melvin Upton Jr. He is just the 16th different player in Blue Jays history to steal 3 bases in the same game, thanks to at Sportsnet Stats for that one, at SN Stats. 2-2 pitch hit on the ground, foul, first base side. And we will go again. Jose Reyes, the last Blue Jay, with a 3 stolen base game. That happened last June. And for Upton, the 3 steals in a game match his career high. Last time done as a Tampa Bay Ray.
Brings an element of speed to this team that it does not have a lot of.
2-2 pitch hit on the ground to third. Donaldson with a great play. Fire over to first. A clothesline and 1 down. Ball backed him up, but he played it beautifully.
Well, he did such a nice job. When the ball's hit hard like that, you don't have a lot of time to react at third base. But what Josh did is he actually took a deep angle to get himself a longer hop. And that last hop on this infield dirt, this is an infield dirt now, the clay that the infielders are becoming more and more familiar with. They like it. They're keeping it much more moist now, so it's softer, much more true hops. And the infielders certainly like that.
Now Brad Miller. First pitch to him is swung on and missed, strike 1. Here in the 6th inning, we will check on our St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard. The Baltimore Orioles get started in about an hour in Oakland. 0-1 pitch hit on the ground, foul. Again, first base side into the camera bay. 0-2. The Orioles and Blue Jays currently tied for first in the AL East, a game and a half ahead of the Red Sox. Ross Detweiler will make his Oakland debut on the Hill. Been in AAA since the A's picked him up in a trade with Cleveland. That pitch is low, ball 1, 1-2. Yovani Gallardo starts for the Orioles. They've lost the first 2 of this 4-game series in Oakland. The Red Sox lead the Yankees 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th, and they're looking for more with the bases loaded and 2 out. 1-2 is low. The Yankees are already on their 5th pitcher of the night. In the 5th inning, Nate Eovaldi had to leave in the 1st with right elbow discomfort. He's going to get checked out in New York. 2-2, strike 3 call. 2 down here in the 6th, 5-0 Blue Jays. Elsewhere on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, Colorado and Texas are tied 1-1. That game is in the top of the 3rd inning. White Sox lead Kansas City 1-0. They're in the 4th. J.B. Shuck has his 4th home run of the season. It's Arizona over the Mets 1-0 in the top of the 6th on an RBI single by Paul Goldschmidt. Earlier, Washington beat Cleveland 7-4. First pitch to Mikey Matuk is outside for ball 1 as Joe Biagini begins to throw in the Blue Jays bullpen. Happ at 95 pitches here in the 6th. 2 out, nobody on, 5-0 Jays. That fastball misses outside, ball 2, 2-0. Off day tomorrow, you can use your bullpen.
freshen all those arms up for that weekend series with the Astros, and that's a great thing. Even if Jay gives him 6 tonight, that's another fine start.
2-0 pitch hit in the air, foul. That's going to make it into the seats. Down the left field side, and it's 2-1. Mike Wilner, Joe Siddle, Jerry Howarth here with you. Our on-site engineer and producer is the great Tom Young. Does yeoman's work every game. Emil Delich and Mark Boffo back at our flagship station, Sportsnet 590 The Fan, making sure we get on the air okay. And we're thrilled to have you along for the ride. Matuk bounces one to third. Donaldson throws to first, and the inning is over. Jay Happ hasn't given up a hit since the third. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Blue Jays 5.
We'll do it on the radio. Blue Jays Talk with Mike Wilner. Following the game on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Devin Travis takes a first pitch curveball low here as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. The Blue Jays 5 and the Tampa Bay Rays nothing. The rubber match of this 3-game series. 1-0 pitch is a fastball in for a strike, 1-1. Travis is 2 for 3 today. And a multi-hit game for Devin is not unusual. It's the 12th in his last 22 games. There's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball down and in. You don't see him fooled like that very often. It's 1-2.
A lot of good late movement on that pitch, and it was just diving down and in. He swung right over top of the ball.
Travis is 34 for 89 over those last 22 games. He takes that pitch in the dirt. So hitting .382. That's pretty good. But what's pretty better is that he's 16 for his last 29. Hitting .552. It's in a 2-2 count here with Danny Farquhar. Scored a run and driven one in. And he takes that pitch down and away, and the count is full.
This is a classic Devin Travis at bat, though. Farquhar working hard here. He made him look silly on that pitch earlier in the count, but now he's gotten back. The count is full here. And this is what John Gibbons, when he refers to Travis, he just generally gives you a pretty darn good at bat every time.
Here in a full count, 5-0 Jays. Pitch is swung on and missed again. That back foot breaking ball ties up Travis, and there's one away. Tough pitch to lay off at the best of times, but when you're getting it from a side-arming righty, must be that much more difficult.
Really kind of slinging it and down and in, too. He's fooled by the speed, of course, but a lot of very late movement with that ball going down and in.
Here's Josh Donaldson. He's 1 for 3. Has scored a couple of runs. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses up and in. Ball 1. Donaldson hit that foul ball down the right field side that was dropped by Steven Souza in the first inning. And given a second life, he singled. The inning stayed alive for Troy Tulowitzki to hit a 3-run homer. Donaldson takes that pitch up. Ball 2, 2-0.
Josh has had a lot of balls thrown up and in at him lately. That's after getting hit in the face in Kansas City. And that was a first pitch breaking ball. There's no intent on all of these pitches, but when you get hit in the face, you're a little bit on eggshells there in the batter's box.
Pitch is low. Ball 3, 3-0.
I don't think it necessarily changes his approach at the plate, but when you do get buzzed, it just kind of frustrates you a little more because you just took one in the face not so long ago.
And Josh Donaldson's ear flap might be the MVP of this season. He takes the 3-0 pitch right down the middle, 3-1.
Can you imagine hitting back in the day without ear flaps?
Crazy. And Ernie Witt did it.
Yeah.
It was grandfathered in. He did it in the late 80s and early 90s.
Wow.
The 3-1 swung on it hard on the ground to third, but Longoria's there. Donaldson's not even going to run this one out. It's thrown to first. Actually, he did run down to first, just started awfully late. But Longoria's as automatic as it gets, 2 down. We invite you to play the VTech Bottom of the Ninth Trivia Challenge for your chance to win weekly VTech prize packs, plus the grand prize of a family trip for 4 to next year's spring training in Dunedin, Florida. Enter now and play on your smartphone, tablet, or online at VTechTrivia.com for your chance to win. Here's Edwin Encarnacion. 2 out, nobody on, bottom 6. 5-0 Blue Jays. First pitch is down and in, that back foot breaking ball. He lays off. Ball 1. Edwin belted the 299th home run of his career in the first inning of this series back on Monday. 1-0 is high, ball 2, 2-0. Hasn't gone deep since. Jose Bautista is now on the disabled list with a left knee sprain. Hit the 300th homer of his career last week in Houston. Farquhar looks in, pitching from the stretch. The 2-0 is whacked foul, third base side. 2-1 on Edwin. Friday fan festivals are presented by Bacardi. This Friday, August 12th, includes a concert by DJ Showcase featuring Jed Harper, DJ Deluxe, and your boy Brian. Patio opens at 4:30. The Houston Astros in town. Go to BlueJays.com for your tickets. 2-1 on Edwin. Swung on and missed. 2-2.
Great changeup by Farquhar. He's thrown several of them now. He threw Travis a couple, threw Donaldson one, and now Edwin. Ball's just diving down and in underneath their swings.
Next pitch is low. Maley can't contain it. He'll run up the first base line to pick it up as a new ball is thrown to the long-haired reliever. Is there a rule that if you're a reliever who wears 43, you have to wear long hair? Tony Barnett in Texas, Dennis Eckersley.
Good observation.
Why, thank you. 3-2 pitch is low, ball 4, and Edwin draws a walk. Big on the observational play-by-play. You ever notice that this thing is kind of like that thing? What's the deal with airport food? Here's Russell Martin in the cleanup spot, and he's 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. He walked ahead of Troy Tulowitzki's bases-loaded walk in the second inning that made it 5-0, and that's where we are now, 5-0. And the first pitch hit him. Breaking ball inside, hit Russ on the thigh. Just 74 miles an hour, so he's probably been hurt more by foul tips, and he'll take the free base with 2 down. Joe Biagini continues his warm-ups in the Blue Jays bullpen. Jay Happ has thrown 98 pitches. Could very easily be done after 6 shutout innings. And here's Troy Tulowitzki. That OPS creeping ever closer to 800. It is at 777 as he stands in. And he swings and misses at the first pitch from Farquhar. 0-1. 5 runs on 7 hits, no errors for the Blue Jays. No runs on 4 hits and 2 errors for the Rays. Oh, 0-1 pitch fouled off the mask of Maley, and after it hit the dirt. And Tulo's in a hole, 0-2. Maley still wears that old-fashioned catcher's mask, and it got him good right after it hit the dirt. Right over the right eye.
Just jarred him a bit, and sometimes when that mask jars your face, it can come up and the bottom part of your mask catches your nose as that mask going flying off your face.
Runners at first and second, 2 out as Ryan Garton starts to warm in the Rays' pen. That pitch in the dirt gets away from Maley, but not far. Ryan Garton, rookie righty, no relation to Joseph Garton, who I went to high school with. Five nothing Blue Jays in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runners at first and second and 2 out for Troy Tulowitzki, who's already got 4 RBIs tonight. The 1-2, way outside, ball 2, 2-2. Next pitch to Tulo is whacked but foul. 1 hop off that retaining wall, I hope, and not off of a fan. That was hit hard.
There's that changeup again. from Farquhar, but this time it stayed up in the zone. If it doesn't have that downward movement, that's pretty good hitting. He left that right up and on the inner part of the plate for Tulowitzki.
Troy looking for a pitch he can drive to put this thing away. 5-0 Blue Jays, 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 6th. Pitch is swung on and hit in the air. Foul, right field side. Lands just shy of the 200 level. The Tulo chants. It's really pretty awesome to hear. Troy Tulowitzki was not beloved by a lot of the fan base early in his Blue Jays career, but he has started to hit, shown us what he was in Colorado, really picked that up since the middle of May. 2-2 now is fouled away again. And another skill of Tulo's is that he can really stay in a bat.
Troy's still using that bat that he got from Nolan Arenado when the Blue Jays were in Colorado. It's a burgundy colored wood, and he's got that tape down near the handle, but they swapped bats, I think, when they were in Colorado. Oftentimes old teammates will do that, but there's an unwritten rule that you don't use that bat while you're playing that team. So as soon as the Blue Jays finished in Colorado, Tulo broke that out. It's been pretty good to him.
2-2 pitch, low ball 3. Maley didn't know where it was, but it was right between his legs. And the runners don't advance. They're going to get a running start now anyway with a full count. And Maley's going to go out and have a chat with his diminutive right-hander. Farquhar gave up a single to Melvin Upton Jr. to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning and then retired 5 Blue Jays in a row. But with 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th, he walked Edwin Encarnacion. He hit Russell Martin with a curveball. And now he's got a 3-2 count on Troy Tulowitzki as this at-bat moves to its 8th pitch. Farquhar is set. The runners go. The pitch is whacked into right field. Base hit. Edwin rounds third. He's going to come home. Here's the throw from Souza. It's late. RBI single for Tulowitzki. Martin stops at second after the line drive almost took his head off. And it's 6-0 Blue Jays. 5 RBIs for Tulo. And that's going to be it for Danny Farquhar. Talk about hitting a baseball where it's pitched.
Well, they had a little conversation at the mound, as you talked about the catcher going out, and I wonder if Farquhar got his wish and wanted to throw the fastball, but he left it right out over the plate. The bottom of the
133,000.
Absolutely spectacular after what they did last year here, that postseason run. Certainly caught the fever, and it's continued on into this season. It's great to see.
Here's Melvin Upton Jr. facing Ryan Garten. Upton is 1 for 2 with a walk and 3 stolen bases. And he swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Melvin Upton was the Blue Jays' 4th outfielder 5 days ago. Now he's the 2nd outfielder and the everyday center fielder with Kevin Pillar and now Jose Bautista, both on the disabled list. 0-1 pitch, popped up. Shallow right field, in comes Souza. And he makes the catch just before crossing into foul territory to end the inning. But the Blue Jays add a run on a hit, and they take a 6-0 lead to the 7th inning with Jerry Howard.
The 7th inning is proudly brought to you by 401 Dixie Hyundai. Join Drew Fraser and his team Saturday, August the 13th for their 20th anniversary celebration. And a reminder to tune in as well after our game here tonight for the Acura play of the game. Right now, a big swing. Troy Tulowitzki, a 3-run home run in the first. All the runs unearned, an error by right fielder Steven Souza. Blue Jays have added 3 more since, lead 6-0. As we go to the 7th inning, Joe Biagini comes out of the bullpen to pick up left-hander Jay Happ. And here is Souza leading it off. He has walked and grounded out. A swing and a miss, strike 1. With Jays 6 scoreless innings here tonight, the Blue Jays now have 3 pitchers in the top 5 in earned run average in the American League. The strike 1 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Aaron Sanchez is the American League leader in ERA at 2.85. Then there's Cole Hamels with Texas at 2.89. Jose Quintana is at 2.93 with the White Sox. Fourth in earned run average at 2.95 is Marco Estrada. The strike 2 pitch, fastball high. And Jay Happ is now fifth at 2.96. 3 starters, top 5 in ERA.
Well, this rotation has certainly carried this team. Another great performance by Happ tonight. Well on his way if this bullpen can hold things down.
Biagini's outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jay struck out 7, walked only 2. And the key for him, the first 2 innings, when each time he turned Tampa Bay away, each time they had 2 runners on.
And one thing I thought he did well that second time through the order, started mixing in the off-speed pitches a little bit more.
Souza hits a fly ball to right center field, deep back for it. Michael Saunders at the track, makes a backhanded catch. 1 down.
Sometimes you have to adjust on the fly against the team you're pitching against. And I think Russell Martin noticed that. He noticed that this is a team that likes to swing the bats. Jay is a guy who throws a lot of fastballs, and they were in swing mode. So second time through, we started seeing a few more sliders, curveballs, changeups, and it worked very well for the left-hander.
And Jay, of course, trying to become the Major League's first 16-game winner. Tim Beckham up. He has struck out twice. So here in the 7th inning, up by 6, Biagini's pitch. Fastball high, ball 1.
Well, Biagini working in his 42nd game. Over his last 11 outings, covering 14 in the 3rd innings. He's held the opposition scoreless, and they've hit just 176 against him.
Rule 5 pick from the Giants. Spent 4 years in their organization in the minor leagues. Comes in with a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's a classic example of why the Rule 5 is such a good thing in Major League Baseball.
Well, it gives somebody an opportunity, and for Biagini pitching in Double-A last year, hard to believe that made the team out of spring training. A team has to keep him in the major leagues all season. He is certainly holding his own.
He is in high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Good fastball. He'll be 93 to 95 miles per hour. Straight over the top curveball. That one right there wasn't a very good one. And then cutter and changeup. But he's able to use all 4 pitches coming out of the bullpen. Not always easy to do.
Back he comes. Outside, ball 3. Biagini's in 41 games. A lot of pitchers would love to have an ERA of 2.14. That's where he resides.
Well, he's pitched himself into some high leverage situations too. It got to a point there where John Gibbons was showing that kind of confidence in him.
Martin the target, 3-1 pitch. Strike 2 called, outside corner at 94. And we were talking the other day about him shadow pitching in the bullpen at 5:45, and now here he is taking it into the game.
Continuing to work on your craft, and that's what all of these players do, different parts of the game, but a lot of times for pitchers it's muscle memory, repeating that delivery.
He spent 15 minutes the other night just before the game all by himself in the bullpen, taking the stretch and then going through the motion, a simulated pitch, would reset, maybe 20-25 seconds later do it again. The 3-2 pitch, ground ball foul, third base side. It's so valuable for him, and as we talked about yesterday, valuable for everybody if you can do it.
Well, you have to be able to continue. For a hitter, a lot of times you're talking about taking your reps in the batting cage. Well, the reason you're doing it is because you're trying to cover all the different pitches. You're trying to get that swing down. Similar to a pitcher repeating his delivery, you want to repeat that swing. Very comparable, the motion for a pitcher, same as a hitter.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 down. And just watching Biagini here reminded me of watching him the other day in the bullpen all by himself. That's what you call the muscle memory, the repeat delivery.
And what it is, too, and you're playing out different scenarios in your mind. When you're down there by yourself working on that, repeating your delivery, you're coming set from the stretch position, you're holding, and then you're delivering the ball. Another time you might come and hold just for a split second and deliver the ball, working on different slide steps. If you don't practice something, it's very difficult to do it in a game situation.
Blue Jays 6, Rays nothing. 2 down in the Tampa Bay 7th. DH, right-hand hitting Richie Schaefer takes outside, ball 1. And what it does too, Joe, it blots everything out, so now you're just concentrating on the mitt because that's what you've been doing all season.
I think when you practice properly like that, you get into a game situation and your brain has been there. It's already told your body what to do.
Pitch is line fair down the left field line. That's a base hit, and a fan reaches over and grabs it. So they're going to award a double here to Schaefer. That's his second hit. He's 2 for 3. And Biagini now will work from the stretch again with Luke Maley coming up.
What I mean about a pitcher's motion being similar to a hitter's motion, when you hear pitchers talk and then you hear hitters talk, a lot of the conversation is similar about a balance point and getting loaded and finishing out front and transferring the weight. All those different, very similar, actually, terminologies, but you hear them from both sides.
Now Maley, the right-handed hitting catcher, has struck out and grounded out. Left-hander Brett Cecil warming up in the Blue Jays bullpen in left center field. Blue Jays 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 9 left. The Rays no runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, 5 left. Starter Blake Snell went an inning and 2/3, gave up 5 runs, only 2 earned on 5 base hits. Biagini trying to get Maley here. We'll look at second at Schaefer. Fastball strike 1 on the outside corner. After Tulowitzki hit a 3-run home run to left, his 19th back in the first inning. In the second inning, with 1 out, Darwin Barney doubled off the left-hander Snell. Devin Travis singled him home to make it 4-0, and then an out later, Snell walked 3 in a row. The last to Tulowitzki with the bases loaded to make it 5-0. Maley takes it high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Jays added another in the 6th inning when Tulowitzki singled to right to knock home Encarnacion. Tulowitzki with a 5 RBI game, just 2 shy of his career high 7. Biagini ready. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1. And now Biagini learning from Jason Grilli, Joaquin Benoit. That's what Roberto Osuna did last year with LaTroy Hawkins in the bullpen. So good for those younger pitchers to be around the veterans. Biagini's pitch. Strike 2 called. Fastball at 94, 2-2.
And this is even a good situation here for Biagini to understand that runner on second does not mean anything. Don't let him distract you from what you're trying to do in getting this hitter out. Make sure your focus is on Russell and getting this hitter.
2-2 the count. Pitch on the way. It's hit down the right field line late and foul. Having trouble catching up with a 95-mile-an-hour pitch there, and it remains 2-2. Off day tomorrow, and then the Astros in Friday night. Francisco Liriano will start the procession of 3 starters, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, each pitching with 6 days rest, what with the off day tomorrow. Liriano had a very impressive debut for the Blue Jays in Kansas City. He'll take on Joe Musgrove. He made his major league debut against the Blue Jays in relief in Houston. Swing and a miss. Biagini strikes out Maley. The inning is over, and the double is left on. 7th inning stretch we go here. 6-0 at the Rogers Center. Blue Jays up on Tampa Bay. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ever notice that when something is super...
Sanders has struck out twice and grounded out. A foul off to the left over the screen it goes. Watch out. Even ducking and covering there was Justin Smoke on deck to the left of home plate. And Justin with a worried look right into the crowd there to make sure everybody was okay. Shift on. 3 infielders to the right of second. And the 0-1 pitch is high. On that home run leader update tonight at Fenway Park, Yankee shortstop Didi Gregorius hit his 14th home run. That's a career high and counting for him. That's the 3rd highest total for any Yankee shortstop in the last 10 seasons going back to 2007. The pitch is low. Derek Jeter, of course, in 2009, 18 home runs, and then Jeter again in 2012, 15. And Gregorius with 1 more home run, and it's only August the 10th, will match what Jeter did back 4 years ago. A swing and a miss, 2-2. Watch out for that young man.
Well, it's a nice acquisition by the Yankees moving forward and trying to get younger, and we're seeing a lot of these moves now by New York. This is a team that's going to be in transition, but they'll be right back in the thick of things rather quickly, I believe.
And the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Saunders down on strikes, 1 down. 7th inning for Justin Smoke. Here it's 6-0 Blue Jays. Tulowitzki with a 3-run home run on the first. The Blue Jays this year, when they have not hit a home run, have won only 8 games. They're 8-21 without a home run. They've won 56 while dropping 29 with at least one home run. And here tonight, not only do they score first, they do it with the homer. The pitch is outside. It's hard to believe the Blue Jays have only 8 wins when they do not hit a home run.
It is, but you know, when you hear John Gibbons say we're kind of built around the long ball, I mean, they really are. They go as their home run power goes.
Smoke hits a high fly ball deep right center field. Speaking of, back for it, Souza, and there she goes. Home run number 13, and the Blue Jays now lead the Rays 7-0. What were we just saying about home runs?
Well, you know, some people do not like an offense built that way, but how can you argue when they're up there in the runs per game? They're as good as anyone in the league, and it's been a struggle for Justin Smoke, but he was able to get on this changeup. Ryan Garten left it up and out over the plate.
Darwin Barney bent back from a pitch up and in, ball one, and you're so right about how the Blue Jays are built for this ballpark.
Well, they really are, and there's a lot of times you depend on it, and when you hit those dry spells, your offense begins to struggle.
Barney, a swing and a miss, 1-1.
But I think if you're John Gibbons, you'll still take this club the way they are built.
So 2 tonight, and the Blue Jays keep on hitting them out. That's 162, second in the major leagues to Baltimore. Pitch is fouled off right-hand side. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and there are the Blue Jays and the Orioles sitting atop the American League East, a 1.5 lead over the Boston Red Sox. The Yankees are 4th. They're a 500 club, 56-56, and they're 7 back. 1-2 pitch is outside. Speaking of the Red Sox, and we were just talking about now with Jay Happ's ERA at 2.96, he is 5th in the American League in ERA. The Blue Jays have 3 starters in the top 5. Aaron Sanchez and Marco Estrada just ahead of Jay. 2-2 pitch hit down the right field side, foul. The fan makes a great catch down the line and gets a standing ovation. Was that the ball boy? And Russ Martin is clapping from that Blue Jays third base dugout. That got everybody's attention. The right-hander Ryan Garten's 2-2 pitch hit on the ground to short, taken by Beckham. He'll throw it on to first. Good arm. He gets Barney. 2 down. When Barney hit that ball foul down the line, it was the ball boy who jumped, and then he fell into the crowd head over heels. He didn't make the catch. A fan did make the catch. That's what we reacted to. And then the next reaction was for that try by the ball boy down the line.
You certainly hope he's okay, and leaned over that short wall and went head over heels.
Now, it'd have been spectacular had he caught the ball, but it was about 3 feet over his outstretched glove. Devin Travis up. A couple of hits tonight. He takes a strike on the inside corner here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A run in on Justin Smoke's 13th home run. A drive deep to right center. Blue Jays 7. The Rays nothing. A swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Devin singled to start the game. Later scored on Tulowitzki's 3-run homer. Then in the 2nd inning, Travis singled to right to knock home Barney's double. Later Tulowitzki a bases loaded walk. Travis has since lined out to second and struck out. Breaking ball low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here in the 7th inning. Garten shakes off a sign. Now the one he wants. Cuts it loose, fastball inside. And notice with Devin Travis, there is no shift. You cannot shift against him.
Well, he uses the whole field very well, and it's not that he necessarily hits it where it's pitched, because he'll take the ball middle in and shoot it the other way, but he'll also at times catch something out front and get it to his pull side.
2-2 pitch waved at a miss, strike 3. The inning is over, but it produces another run. To the 8th we go. The Blue Jays 7, the Rays nothing. Jason Grilli will come out of that bullpen to pitch to the Rays in the 8th. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays baseball on the
Fan.
The Super 8th inning is brought to you by Super 8 Hotels. Baseball road trips and Super 8, that's what they call a triple play. Journey onward, super8.com. As we go here to the 8th inning, Blue Jays have a 7-0 lead. Jason Grilli on to pitch. Daryl Siciliani will finish it up in right field for Michael Saunders. Logan Forsythe, the leadoff hitter, 1 for 2 and a walk. He'll be followed by Kevin Kiermaier and Evan Longoria. So here, right-hander against right-hander. And Grilli's pitch, strike 1.
Well, Grilli has held opponents to an average under 100 in his last 14 outings. He pitched a scoreless inning here against the Rays on Monday night, including 1 strikeout.
And with an off day tomorrow, this is John Gibbons' way of keeping him sharp.
Keeping everybody sharp and come back fresh and ready for the weekend.
Strike 1, pitch is low.
Jason will be around 92 with that fastball. Good slider and changeup. Slider's his best pitch. He'll mix it both sides of the plate.
Joe Biagini, a nice job. Scoreless inning, left a 2-out double on, struck out 2 in the 7th. Grilli's pitch in there, strike 2 called. Biagini now has worked in 42 games. Here it is August the 10th, and the rookie has yet to give up a home run.
It's amazing what he has done. And again, we talk about using all 4 pitches. I thought the cutter was another excellent pitch. He'll show the curveball, but it seems like he'll use that cutter, which is 88 to 90, to get a lot of hitters out, and that's what he used to strike out Luke Maley to finish his inning off.
1-2 pitch, a bit high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Out that Rays bullpen, Kevin Jepson warming up. He'll become the 4th reliever used by manager Kevin Cash here tonight. And the 2-2 delivery fouled off first base high. That goes out of play. Who would have thought on August 10th there'd be an outfield of Darwin Barney in left, Melvin Upton in center, and Daryl Siciliani in right. Now, if you projected that any time from spring training on, raise your hand.
Isn't that funny? When we're in Dunedin, we're trying to project the lineups. We're like, what a waste of time that is.
That is so true. Pitch grounded to the mound. A leaping Grilli has it. Turns, takes his time, plays catch with Justin Smoke at first. 1 down.
Well, it certainly takes more than 25 players, more than that opening day roster. And we see changes oftentimes right in early April. But throughout the course of the season, things happen, performance-based and injuries. And you need a lot more than the 25. And the Blue Jays are starting to experience that more and more lately.
And if you're just joining us and didn't hear it today, the Blue Jays put Jose Bautista back on the disabled list. On that throw in from right field yesterday, he sprained his left knee, tripping, catching his foot into the artificial turf, and down he went. A strike called on the inside corner here to the left-hand hitting Kevin Kiermaier. We heard Jose talking to the media tonight, and he said he felt a pop, and then later went home, walked around his house, knew something was wrong, called the Blue Jays, and today put on the DL. A strike called, 0-2. Second time he's been on the DL. He missed the first time, 30 games, stubbing his toe and with a hyperextended toe and an injury in Philadelphia. And the Blue Jays went 17-13.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do again. You have to move on. John Gibbons made that clear today. You never like to hear these injuries to his players, but have to move forward.
Ground ball sharply at the second. Devin Travis throws it on the first. 2 down in this 8th inning. Blue Jays 7, Rays nothing. Mike Wilner has a St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard.
And the Baltimore Orioles in Oakland getting set to go. They're about 18 minutes away from the first pitch, and they will likely be half a game behind the first-place Blue Jays when that game starts. It'll be Giovanni Gallardo against Ross Detweiler. Right now, the Boston Red Sox have a 4-1 lead over the New York Yankees as they play in the top of the 7th inning. The Yankees lost their starter, Nate Eovaldi, to right elbow discomfort after just 1 inning. And the crowd at Fenway already chanting, "We want A-Rod." Alex Rodriguez has not appeared yet in this series.
Evan Longoria 0 for 3. Hits the first pitch up into the air, pops it up at third. Coming in Donaldson. He's in foul ground between the bag and the plate. Makes the catch. The inning is over. Bottom of the 8th we go. The Blue Jays 7, the Rays nothing. You're listening to Home Hardware Blue Jays baseball on the station. And be sure and give the Blue Jays a call as well. Join the business meetings right here and enjoy them at the Rogers Center in the Blue Jays Acura Luxury Suites. So many have done that this year, and you continue to do it as well. Contact the Blue Jays execs, find out the best package that suits your needs, or just go online at bluejays.com/luxury suites. Kevin Jepson on to pitch here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Blue Jays in command 7-0. They've out-hit the Rays 9-5. Donaldson, Encarnacion, and Martin here, 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Josh 1 for 4. He scored a couple of runs. He takes strike one called. The crowd here tonight, 45,501, 4-5, 501. Donaldson single back in the first inning, was on board when Tulowitzki had a 3-run home run to left. His 19th. It went into the Blue Jays bullpen down the line. It's the biggest swing of the night. Jepson's pitch fouled at the top of the screen. Big cut by Josh. It's 0-2.
Jepson was with the Rays for the start of last season before being traded to Minnesota. He's allowed just 1 earned run in his 7 innings this season in a Rays uniform in 11 appearances. Things were not going very well before that ERA over 5.
He was the 4th reliever used. The starter, Blake Snell, went just an inning and 2/3. Strike 2 pitch outside. Tulowitzki with a 3-run home run in the first. Donaldson reached after Steven Souza in right field, dropped his fly ball in right field, foul. That gave Donaldson a life, and he took full advantage of it. So did the Blue Jays, and Snell gave up the 3-run home run. All the runs unearned due to that fly ball dropped in foul territory by the right fielder. Josh takes it high. In the next inning, with 1 out, Darwin Barney snapped an 0 for 17, and he was 2 for 38 at the time. Doubled into the right field corner off Snell. Devin Travis singled him home to make it 4-0. And an out later, Snell walked 3 straight, the last to Troy Tulowitzki with the bases loaded. That made it 5-0. Then runs in the 6th and 7th. 2-2 pitch, half swing. Josh goes around. Strike 3, 1 down. Tulowitzki singled home run in the 6th. Smoke with his 13th home run to right center in the 7th.
Designated hitter number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
And now the pendulum swings a little bit back the other way regarding the 6-man rotation, because Jay Happ tonight went 6 scoreless innings, lowered his ERA to 5th lowest in the league at 2.96. He struck out 7, walked 2, survived 2 tricky first innings.
Yeah, he pitched very well tonight, I think, especially going to that off-speed stuff that second time through the order, mixing in that fastball, of course, that he uses lots of.
Edwin pops the first pitch up, foul behind the plate. Luke Maley tosses the mask. He's under it, makes the catch. 2 down.
But you're right about that. I think, again, I talked about it earlier. I think this is going to be a bit of a mental approach where these pitchers have to just alter their routines, do what they have to do. The ultimate thing is they are getting more rest. They should be healthier if you want to look at it that way. Now, a lot of pitchers will tell you they get a little stronger. It's a little different than what they're used to. And you probably don't want that if you're a Marco Estrada. You're not a power pitcher. But I think these guys are going to be able to make that adjustment as they move forward. I still do not see 6 guys in a rotation for a very long time. It just does not make a lot of sense.
No, I don't either. The batter is Russ Martin. He's doubled here tonight. He is 1 for 2. He's also walked and been hit by a pitch. Right-hander Jepson's pitch fouled off third base side.
And what I've said before is with the Aaron Sanchez situation, even if he were in this 6-man rotation for the rest of the season, the regular season, you want to try to get him to be available in the postseason too. The workload is going to be too heavy. He's going to have to miss a handful of starts here somehow in the last 6 weeks of this season.
0-1 on Russ. And the delivery is high, but enough to catch the top side, stop the top part of the strike zone. So it's no balls and 2 strikes on Russ here, who then questions that call from Clint Fagan. No balls and 2 strikes on the catcher. And Tulowitzki on deck with his 5 runs batted in. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the strike 2 pitch. Now that's high. And Russ looks back at Clint Fagan to make sure. You got that one right, didn't you?
Well, you know what happens too in a game like this? It's been a long game. It's 7-0. The umpire's tired. The players are tired. But as a hitter, it's a very valuable at-bat to you still. I mean, this is your career, and you're still trying to put up numbers. So if you're Russell Martin, you're saying, hey, come on, don't give in to me.
Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Russ slams his bat in frustration and anger at the plate, striking out, but it was pitches before that got him upset. We go to the 9th inning. The Blue Jays lead at 7-0. Ryan Tepera just called up from Tepera here on in the 9th inning. 7-0 Blue Jays. The Rays bring up their left-handed hitting first baseman Brad Miller. He takes strike 1.
Ryan's 6th stint with the Blue Jays this season. You talk about going back and forth. It's been a tough one for him, but he's been doing very well in AAA Buffalo.
And the pitch to Miller, fouled off to the left. And he actually has done pretty well here, but because he has options, he's been the odd man out.
Well, he certainly has. And up here with the Blue Jays, he's just pitched in 5 games, but he's looking to try to take advantage of one of these opportunities. But it's just been because he's been that guy to go back down. He hasn't really had that opportunity to get in any kind of groove here at the major league level.
Miller's 0 for 3. That's cleanup for Kevin Cash. The pitch pop foul, third base side out of play, still 0-2. Tomorrow's an off day, and then the Houston Astros here Friday night. Francisco Liriano will make his home debut against the Houston Astros. Joe Musgrove will pitch for Houston. He did a great job in the 4-game series at Minute Maid Park, a former Blue Jay farmhand, and debuted against the Blue Jays back in Texas. Strike 2 pitch, hit down the left field side. That's going to go foul back into the seats. Musgrove came on in a game where Lance McCullers started. It was back on August the 2nd, and McCullers had some discomfort in his right elbow. He went just 4 2/3 innings. Musgrove came out of the bullpen to make his major league debut, went 4 1/3 scoreless innings, allowed only 1 hit, and struck out 8. The pitch is inside. That's a Houston record. Don Wilson, way back in 1966 in his major league debut with the Astros, he had struck out 7. And Musgrove passed him. So now he's a starter, and he'll be here Friday night against Francisco Liriano. A foul down the right-hand side.
Well, he was very impressive that night, and now he's settling into that rotation. Lance McCullers had to go on the disabled list with that elbow discomfort, so it'll at least be a pitcher that the Blue Jays have seen a little of, even though they may not like their memories.
And second time around, too. That'll be interesting to see how Joe does. Fastball, strike 3 called. Down goes Miller. 1 out here in the Rays' 9th inning. They trail 7-0.
Left fielder number 27, Mikey Montauk.
As for Francisco Liriano, come on out and greet him warmly. He went 6 innings in Kansas City back on Friday. It'll be a week for him, as we said, 6 days between outings with the new rotation. Liriano went 6, gave up only 2 earned runs, 3 total on 7 hits. Blue Jays would rally in the 9th inning on a home run by Devin Travis to win it 4-3. Liriano a no decision. The right-hand hitting Mikey Montauk takes outside ball 1. So that's all on Friday night. Saturday afternoon, Aaron Sanchez with the 6 days between starts. He'll take on Colin McHugh. Sunday afternoon, Marcus Stroman against Mike Fiers. 1-0 pitch is inside, 2-0. Blue Jays then will go on the road to New York for 3. Off day Thursday in Cleveland. 3 more then against Cleveland. Blue Jays with a great road record, 31-25. Tepera's pitch grounded weakly to short. Taken by Tulowitzki. Throw it on to first. 2 down here in the Rays' 9th inning. Steven Souza has walked, grounded out, and flied out to right field. Blue Jays with a couple of home runs here tonight. Tulowitzki is 19th with 2 on in the first. Smoke with 1 out, nobody on, his 13th in right center field back in the 7th. Top of the 9th inning, Blue Jays have out hit the Rays 9-5, lead at 7-0. Tepera ready. And his pitch. A strike on the outside corner. Tepera comes up. Danny Barnes was sent back to AAA Buffalo. Junior Lake is sitting in the Blue Jays' third base dugout as today Jose Bautista put on the DL with a sprained left knee. Tepera to his hitter. A pop-up. First base side, right field. Travis goes out, calls off Smoke. Devon's under it. Ball game, Blue Jays. A shutout over Tampa Bay. Seven 0 the score, the final, and Jay Happ, congratulations. Stand up and take a bow. You are the first 16-game winner in the major leagues.
Well, a very special night for Jay Happ and for the Blue Jays, the major league's first 16-game winner. Congratulations to Jay, and keep it up. The Blue Jays did it the Blue Jays way. Troy Tulowitzki with a big 3-run homer back in the first on a 5 RBI night. This was a pivotal game for the Blue Jays, especially after the way things went here last night. Not a very good effort at all. The Blue Jays come back and win the series.